Ramones, and some sad news, of course. On this day in 2014, producer and drummer Tommy Ramone, Thomas Erdely was his name, from the influential punk rock band The Ramones, died on this day in 2014. He was 65. He was treated for bile duct cancer, and it didn't work. He was the last surviving member, the original members of The Ramones before he died. Erdely was also an assistant engineer for the production of the Jimi Hendrix album Band of Gypsies. Anyway, in 2014, in his passing. Let's see, a birthday or two. Bruce McGill, famous for Animal D-Day, on his vocal, Adam's apple. And Bruce McGill, 73, Animal House as D-Day. Also, he was in a million TV shows. He was in Runaway Jury, Legend of Bagger Vance. I mean, 1,000 performances, Bruce McGill.
And he's never paid for a beer or drink at a bar.
He says he goes anywhere, and they say, do it.
He actually does it. That wasn't a special effect.
It's real. Yeah, no, it's real. I don't know. Have you ever tried to do it?
No.
Try it.
All right.
Can you hear that?
No.
All right, wait a minute. Let me try. All right, I'm going real close.
No.
Now, I don't know how you do it. How the hell Pete, can you do it?
No, hell no, I can't.
I mean, I wonder how you do it.
I don't want to know.
And how the hell you start to do it? How do you practice? Somebody said, I know, let's do the March of the Three Oranges or whatever the hell the Lone Ranger theme is on your Adam's apple. Okay, let's try that. Anyway, I barely didn't. I don't get it. Bruce McGill, 73. God bless America. How y'all doing? It's only me. It's only the camera. We got a million things, and I don't feel like doing any of them. Honestly, it's like, do you ever get spring fever in the summer? I don't know what's going on. I actually went to the store today. I normally don't leave the house. I get up, I start working around a little before 6, and I don't leave the house till I come to work. But today I had to go to the store. I've also got some VA things to go on. Anyway, so I go to the store, and I was so excited because they had both my chicken fries and my special Rally extra flavored, thin, crispy French fries. Because lately, Flounder, because of my air fryer, I've been doing that's what I'm making for dinner with the last minute when I get home or something. And they had both of them. They've been out for weeks. I haven't been able to do them for weeks, and finally got them both. So I'm very excited, and it just put me in a whole different mood. So
fascinating.
I hope you all. Now, Pete, so your house didn't explode today, or tell the little people what's going on here.
I woke up around 7 a.m., which I never do, and decided to get up and start the day and get a whole full day in. And
you can sleep till 7?
I can sleep till 1 in the afternoon if I want to.
God.
If I want
Can't
to.
even imagine.
Well, I stay up to 5 a.m.
Well, there you are. Anyway, sorry. So you were
I did a Holy Crap at Sports last night. This morning at 5 a.m. So I laid down, got up at 7 a.m. Yeah. And I walk around and go, what is that smell? It smells like a cat has gotten in here and done its business.
Oh, boy.
And I'm walking around, and I think, oh, my God, it's probably the propane tank outside. It's probably leaking. Either that or something has died and crawled up underneath the bottom of the house. And so I asked Ziggy, or Alexa, or whatever you want to call it. Oh, God, she's now talking in the other room. I asked her what propane smells like. She goes, it doesn't smell like anything, but they add a chemical to make it smell like rotten eggs.
Yeah, so you notice it, yeah.
So then I said, well, can rotten eggs smell like cat whiz? And she goes, yes.
Oh, boy.
So I thought the gas guys are going to come out, and as soon as, of course, I open up the windows and everything, it completely blows out. So I don't think I'm going to blow up at least. Well, right now.
So then nobody's done anything yet. So you could have a gas leak.
Till tomorrow, yeah. Well, I don't smell it now, so it's all right now. So
I take a chance. That's my motto. You know, what the hell? You probably, it probably's not going to blow. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, it's 308, exactly 308-02-0304 on the 11th. 7-11, baby. 7 come 11, 2023. And if we hear the news by morning, there's some monster explosion.
The problem up here, everybody will think it's a meth house going on.
I freaking love it.
I got a request for you.
Oh, all right, please, absolutely.
Every time you talk about Davis in the other room, I perk up like I'm supposed to be doing something. We have to find him a nickname.
All right, the D-Man. I don't know. We'll do something. We'll figure out something. I don't really know him very well. I can't get any personality read yet. Flounder, you work with him in that booth every day, so you have a little more thing. Is he into anything? Is he like a mover shaker, kind of a ladies' man, kind of a? Is he into heavy metal stuff?
He's a senior in college. I'll let Davis speak for himself.
Dave, now, what's your deal, Davis? What kind of? How do you describe yourself?
I describe myself as just an everyman. I like playing sports, like hanging out with family and friends. Just basic stuff, but my friends do call me Dave, so that's a differentiator from Davis. Yeah,
Dave's not here.
Yeah. Exactly.
All right, well, we plan on abusing you the way we do everybody else. Sutton ran out here last week. He hasn't been seen since Friday, so I chased Sutton away. He was very angry, apparently. Anyway, Flounder, what's new with you? How's Miss Veronica? Is everything, I don't want to pry or anything.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah,
Everything's good. She's cooking dinner this evening.
No, well, and what is she cooking?
Panko chicken, I believe.
Panko chicken. What's that? It's got panks in it?
I'm not sure. It's delicious, though. But I also gave her the option that if she didn't feel like cooking, we'd go get sushi or something like that. So.
Oh, my God. You make that girl eat raw fish?
You don't like sushi?
Oh, it's not food.
It's delicious.
Baked. Oh, Lord. All right. Well, no, I think really.
So you're going to go home, and she's going to be at the stove and only an apron cooking your meat.
I don't want to. Please, I don't even. I can't take that kind of pressure. It's bad enough when I actually met her in person. Anyway, well, good. Say hi to us because we hope you're all doing well. Okay, we got a billion things today. A billion things. And Thursday we're doing the show live from Top Golf in Alpharetta.
Top Golf Alpharetta.
And now I mistakenly said it was a job fair. The deal, it's going to be a bunch of small businesses will be there and to, I guess, show off what they do. And so if you have ever wondered what a small business does, ladies and gentlemen, by God, get your ass to the Top Golf Thursday afternoon. And you can see small business people walking right there in front of you. They say, well, no, I make wooden canoe sculptures right over here. We can learn how to do it together. I don't know. I mean, they can show you what they do. It's a fantastic opportunity. So, in fact, we already know my little sweet girl Amanda's going to be there because she kind of is social media directing of things, for appearances and stuff. So she'll be there. And again, if you want to come by and say hi, and again, the businesses will be there to show you what they do, and
exactly.
and there you are. So,
that voodoo.
Great plug. Great plug.
Well, I sense a memo from management coming down. 3, 2, 1.
Well, it's not going to work. I don't. In fact, I think I have some kind of like an email address here. I haven't seen it yet. I don't.
It's on your phone. We put it on your phone. Remember?
Is that what that little new app was?
Yep.
Because I noticed there's a new app there, so I didn't recognize it. It's like a gray, sort of a dark gray. I don't know. I'm afraid to hit it because I don't know what it is. I don't touch it. If I don't know what it is, I'm not touching it. Anyway, oh my God, it's already 3:12. I can't believe I've blown the whole first section. Here's our phone number. If you like, and again, I know you're afraid to call because you have to actually make the phone work, but as opposed to texting. But the numbers, if you do, we'd love to hear phone calls. 404-741-1230. 741-1230. Coming up, Little Miss BLM-loving white hater Fanny Chicken Liver, the coward of Fulton County DA, is going more after Trump. But we're going to play a little rememory thing of the former witch of the special grand jury coming up. Also, Republicans' new law based on Georgia. Take that, Major League Baseball. And Biden lampooned for his erector set being led by the hand by the King of England. Oh, we got a million things coming up. 3:13 with the Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder on Extra 106.3. 3:17, and it's only me. It's only the Kimmer with Pete Davis and Flounder. Da-da-da. I'll be all right, fine. Stomach problems, David? Oh, my God. It's just horrible. It's off key. And anyway, sorry. Oh, dear God. No. It's just horrible music.
Classic.
I'm so sorry.
You heathen.
And I know I'm a heathen. I'm a bad person, and I'm not a role model. Let's say nobody's naming a freaking school after me when I die, by the way. Anyway, and by the way, poor Flounder. I mean, it's like I know he feels like he's trying to keep an eye on his elderly grandfather so he doesn't get lost at the fair, because he said, I said, what do you want to come back? We're between a glass, we're two studios between a glass thing. And so I did a little intercom thing, and I said, what do you want to come back with on the music? Because he has a list of music things, and I've got that up. And he says, Ziggy Stardust. And he goes, David Bowie, because that's how it's listed in case I don't know what Ziggy Stardust is. Anyway, the reason we're playing it was because on this day in 2019, and by the way, this is deja vu. I know you rip me every time. Like yesterday, I said something, and I'd done the exact same thing like 2 days ago, and I totally forgot it. I'm having deja vu right now. I swear to God, I've read this story, this issue on the music before. Toy makers Mattel announced a new collectible David Bowie doll inspired by the signature Ziggy Stardust fashion. Dubbed Barbie as Bowie, the doll is dressed as the late singer's glam rock alter ego, complete with a pair of red platform boots and topped with his fiery red mullet. I swear I just did this like 2 weeks ago.
No, that's one thing you did not do.
That's unbelievable.
Now, I think the album Ziggy Stardust was in the history a few weeks ago, so that might have been it.
I know. I'm not crazy after all. Quick birthday. Oh, that naughty little Debbie Dunning. Yeah, Heidi, the Tool Time girl on Home Improvement. Oh, yeah. Debbie Dunning is 57 today. Baby, leave your stuff. I'll get everything you need later. Oh, sorry. Gotta give me some strange. Where was it? 319. 319. I'm hoping to meet some hot babes up at Top Golf there. Yeah,
Thursday. You're gonna be trolling up there.
Well, I could be trolling for hot babes, sure.
You're definitely putting the spanking sign out.
Should I bring a couple of clubs, hit balls while we're getting ready or something, or what? I don't even know.
I think they have clubs there.
Well,
don't be the guy that brings your golf clubs in. Like, it's one thing to bring maybe a club or something, but I wouldn't bring your golf club because they have. I'm assuming the game that's played is you would need a driver, an iron, and a chipper or something like that.
I think you bring. When I did it with my kids down in Florida,
I've never actually. I've been there before.
They bring your clubs, so you don't have to play a game. In other words, you can just rent the space and hit balls for an hour.
They have their own clubs, and they're pretty serviceable.
They're what now?
Serviceable.
I don't know what that means.
They're good. They're good. They're good clubs. They take care of you.
Yeah, but they're not my clubs. I'm a too freaking handicap. How can I hit somebody else's clubs? They're not meant for me. My clubs are all bent for me for the exact angle that I want to hit the ball.
Stuff.
Huh? You know exactly by now, Flounder, that Kimmer, everywhere he goes, should have a T-shirt that says, that guy on it.
Oh, well, then you can all eat me. How about that? How about I'm not showing up? How about that? I'll wear my motorcycle outfit.
That guy in the motorcycle.
Anyway, now, I don't even know where I was. What the hell was I going to do? Oh, let's see. No, I don't feel like doing that.
Isn't there a Ziggy Stardust story you need to do?
I just read it.
Oh, you didn't?
I just swear to. All right, now you're acting like me. Flounder, did I just not read the story about the doll and the red fiery hair, mullet, and everything just a minute ago? Anyway, okay. By the way, I put a video on. Before I forget, we're not even going to get to the news thing yet. We're going to do. Pete had a great an idea, a social media thing about pets who pass away. After and owners who passed away. Anyway, we'll talk about it. It's a really, really incredible thing that it really touched me. Also, that coach we talked about the other day for the hazing at Northwestern, he's gone. They fired him. We'll talk more about that too. And I have kind of an experience related to that about what happens when you let youngsters, adolescents, be in charge of punishments and so forth. Anyway, this morning I put on Facebook and Rumble and YouTube a quick video I took of a poster I bought years ago at a charity auction, probably 30 years ago. And it's a picture, a signed picture, a poster, a huge, like 4-foot poster, a photograph rather, of Nolan Ryan. and he's got a bloody nose. He's on the mound. He's got a bloody nose, and he didn't come out of the game. He's still pitching. And the reason he has a bloody nose is because Bo Jackson had smacked a ball into his face from the batter's box, and he stayed in the game. And the caption under the picture is Nolan knows Bo. Remember the Nike campaign? Who knows Bo, or you know Bo, or whatever. Bo knows Bo. Well, that was in 1985. Nolan Ryan with the Houston Astros set a major league record with 4,000 strikeouts. That was a record at the time, and I bought this poster with him on and the Bo thing. And the irony was, the reason I put it on Facebook is because that was on this day in 1985. On the same day, 2 years later, Bo Jackson, who's, famous for blooding up his nose, 2 years later, same day, Bo Jackson signed an NFL contract to play for the L.A. Raiders for 5 years and still play for the Kansas City Royals. Nike started their whole campaign around him, Bo knows Bo, but by 1992, it was all over. But again, remember the pair, Bo knows Bo and Nolan knows Bo. And I happen to have that very poster, and I bought it for charity. I can't remember how much I paid for it, but it was all for charity. And so I thought it was kind of funny. Anyway, okay. Now, we'll get to the Fanny Chicken Liver, the coward of Fulton County, the hater and the racist and so forth shortly. Also, the new Georgia voting law, which is now national, but it's not going to work. Thank you, Georgia. That's why it's not going to work. How ironic is this? The new law passed in the House is based on Georgia's new easy-to-vote, hard-to-cheat law, which led to record turnouts the last couple of years, okay? Unfortunately, based on the Georgia law, is also based on the Georgia results of our last election, which made sure that we have 2 liberal socialist senators, so the wonderful bill that just got passed in the House is going to die in the Senate because of Georgia. A Georgia-based bill is going to die because of Georgia-based voters. You freaking cowards.
Oh, I'm not going to vote for her to be there. Oh, he's a meanie. He said bad things to girls.
Oh, well, I know. Why don't we have John Fetterman take the freaking office in Pennsylvania? These people don't care about anything but winning. Sorry, I didn't mean to yell. All right, now, a different topic. Oh, God, that felt good. All right, 324. Now, Pete Davis.
Yes, sir.
You came across something the other day, and it touched me. I thought, wow, I had never thought of this, but I have thought about final moments with pets. But this is something different. Tell the little people what you came across.
It was on Facebook, and Gary posted it, and then Linda reposted it, which is how I saw it. And here's what Gary said. If I die while I have a pet, let my animal see my dead body. Let them see my dead body, please. They understand death, and seeing me dead will allow them to mourn. But if I just never show up one day, they'll think I abandoned them. Let my animal see my dead body.
Wow. Now, do we have any kind of evidence at all that we would think that an animal would recognize a dead body?
Well, the animals born, chimpanzees and elephants, stand around and hold vigil.
Well, that's true. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. That's true. In fact, I forgot about. We've seen that a lot on those animal movies about especially about elephants. It makes sense. In fact, I wish I was hoping that I would die before Jack the Good Boy. My horse. I really
selfish.
No, well, I was. But again, and I won't talk about it because I won't be able to make it through. But actually, he did me a favor because he passed away when the exact moments he knew I was going to be arriving, as I always did, at the exact same time, that same day, every day, at the stable. I mean, he saved me from going through it. Anyway, now, Pete and Flounder, do you think you both pet lovers? Do you think this is a good idea? Would you suggest that if you have friends who say, if you die and your animal's still alive, would you take them? Would you?
Yeah, because it's the only way. It's not like you can explain something to an animal via words. So.
I guess obviously the animal would know if you're no longer breathing or no longer alive, and your temperatures and everything, your body's passed away. But I wonder then the key is whether the animal would therefore say, "Aha, I'll always love him, but now he's gone, and time to move on," as opposed to saying the bastard abandoned me.
If it's a dog, yes. If I had a cat, keep it away from me because it might feel a little nippish.
Well, it's going to eat your eyeballs. It's going for the eyes first, people. He's going right for your eyes. He's going for your nose.
My pet vulture. Don't bring my pet vulture around. It knows death too.
Yeah. Anyway, I don't know. I mean, I think that's a great idea. And I know there have been a lot of cases where even horses, where a video will show up once in a while where someone's, a horse lover, horse owner for many years will ask to have, their deathbed wheeled out into a parking lot so the horse can come by one last time and say their goodbyes and so forth. And they say, and by the way, how many cases do we know? I think it's mostly cats that I remember who will be at a hospital and they'll have a hospital cat, and the cat wanders around and he hops into the bed of the next person who's going to die. Have you seen those stories?
No, I haven't seen
I swear to God, you can Google it. I swear, I'm not making this up. Famous. It was been famous stories. I've seen it more than once where a cat will actually jump. It's like a not a death ward. What do you call it? Where you're going hospice care stuff, and at hospice care places, and the cat will roam around. The pet cat, and the cat, and it never fails. The cat will hop onto the bed of the person and stay there. By the next morning, the person's dead.
Another reason to do this is that famous story of the dog in Japan at the railroad station. Was his name Haiki or Hachi or
God,
something?
yeah. Oh, this breaks my heart. Oh, God.
The dog would go every day and wait for his owner to get off the train, and one day the owner had a heart attack at work and didn't come, and that dog continued for like years afterwards and would wait
forever
at the station until someone would take it home, or it went home and someone would feed it something. And there's a statue. They made a movie out of it, I believe.
That's right. There's a statue.
Greyfriars Bobby in Edinburgh. I've been to his grave and his little statue they have. So it was a Disney movie where the owner died and the little terrier every day would go sleep on his grave.
All right, that's it. Good night, everybody.
Jesus. I mean, they know death.
God. I wish I were dead right now.
Well, you have to join the line.
Yeah, move over, buddy. 329. Jeez, I called drinking.
There's a line for that, too.
Anybody holding anything in the back there? 329. Jeez, mercy. It's only the camera. Nice to see you. Whoops, I can't hear anything. Did I do something bad? Oh, there it is. Was that me? Did I do something bad?
Moving along.
Moving right along there. Oh, I was having some kind of a reaction. It's all fine now, though. Much better now. A word from my buddies at Atlanta Safe House. Man, I've had two of these babies. I think one was a Browning. I think the other was American Security. They have all the top brands. Atlanta Safe House. And you do need a safe. For one thing, I found out the hard way. I did actually lose my Social Security card once back in about 1992 or 3 or something. What a nightmare. Because I lost my wallet. Don't keep it in your wallet. Put it in your safe. A safe. I've bought 2 big gun safes. One I gave to Wade, no offense, my former producer. But you don't. They got safe. They aren't all 5 or 6 or 10 feet high safes. You can bolt into your ground like they did for me into the concrete floor in the basement and in the garage and stuff like that. By the way, the Atlanta Safe House is the #1 delivery and installation pro company in the South. #1, they'll install it professionally any way you want it. Like they bored it actually into the concrete. They can put it in the wall, put it in the ceiling. They can hang it anywhere you want. I mean, and it's not just those great big ones, Ask about the big red safe while you're at it. High security safes, business safes, jewelry safes, and of course, gun safes. They're their specialty. And again, if you're new into firearms and maybe you have a wife or a husband or somebody who's a little nervous about it and family stuff, say, hey, we'll get ourselves a safe. Everybody's happy and safe. and take care of business, including my medical records, which I between moves went down to Florida, and I lost my medical records, and if I had them in that safe, I wouldn't be going through the crap I'm going through with the Veterans Administration right now. Don't be like the Kimmer. Be better than the Kimmer. Protect your assets. Atlanta Safe House. Tell them I sent you. They got one for every possible convenience and every possible need. Tell them I sent you when you go to atlantasafehouse.com. Look out. 3:35. It's only the Kimmer. Pete Davis and Flounder rounding out the trio. Davis in the back. Big Dave in the back there. Dave, not Davis. 2013, Pearl Jam released their 10th studio album, Lightning Bolt. Went to number 1 on the album chart, 2013. Never quite got Pearl Jam. I've kind of skipped a generation. That whole generation of music, that whole like 80s or 90s.
Thing.
Yeah, 90s thing all kind of passed me.
That was one of the most important music generation periods ever.
I know, and frankly, to me, if the most important music things ever were the big band influence of the 50s, 40s, and 50s, and rock and roll, Beach Boys, Rolling Stones, and and Martha the Vandellas, the Beatles, and Motown,
Elvis.
stuff like that. Elvis, yeah, I mean that was the big block. And after that, things started getting way too specific. You had
Like
heavy metal,
genres?
I mean, I got like 90, and there used to be rock and roll, and now there's, oh my God, there's 15 different categories.
Classic rock, alternative rock,
brother,
new age
grunge.
rock.
Adult contemporary. I mean, what the hell is even that mean? Quick birthday. Giorgio Armani made it to 89. Good for you, fashion mogul. This says the 80s wouldn't have been the same without him, and ridiculous amounts of blow. Oh, wait a minute. That's Flounder's
Wait a minute.
history lesson.
Wait a minute.
Hold on a second.
Is there such a thing as a ridiculous amount of blow?
I don't know. Thank God I never got into coke. I'd be dead. I'd be the guy who the first time you tried it and dropped freaking dead. I know it. I'm an addict. I started smoking Luckies when I was 9. Okay, so so I guarantee I'd been Len biased. I'd have dropped dead the first time. Oh hell, it's first time. Oh, it's too bad. Anyway,
Hey, every time you mention Pearl Jam, I think of one thing. Every time.
What's that?
Doing a live show outside of some record store when Pearl Jam put out an album back in the 90s, and Rhubarb Jones came by
God.
and co-hosted the show with me to talk about that. Neither of us knew anything about Pearl Jam.
Oh my God! And the late great Rhubarb.
Yeah, what a
Wow,
great
he's been
man.
gone a long time too, hasn't he? And he knew everybody in country music. I mean, among other things. But anyway, what a shame. A couple. Oh, by the way, we got so many great sound things to play, and I'm going to start doing them right now. Also, we got a lot of political stuff, and I'm kind of bored with it right now. You're also going to hear a famous song from the Beach Boys, which one of the famous Beach Boys now says he's afraid to play. And then you'll hear. We'll talk about why, and then you'll hear the difference in music, which may be making a difference along with that movie. What is it? American.
Sound of Freedom.
Sound of Freedom, yeah. So we got that going first, too. First of all, Flounder just found us, or Pete just found us a minute ago. As I've said before, I'm a huge fan of the former TV series Veep. VEEP, which starred the little Seinfeld girl as the vice president of the United States, and she was an airhead and a bimbo, and I mean, just a weird, funny, and the characters were perfect. The guy who played one of the Bluth characters in Arrested Development was her aide. I mean, it's just a hysterical, great perfect, great series. Huge fan. And here, Pete found this. Here is now. You're about to hear the audio from the actress on the TV series Veep. And right after that, back and forth, you will hear Vice President Carmela's side piece, the shiftless and lazy Vice President of the United States. See if you can't tell if one of them is trying to mimic the other, and it's kind of hard to tell which one is which.
Words have many meanings, and sometimes instead of conveying our meaning, they can suggest other meanings.
When we talk about the children of the community, they are the children of the community.
Well, we are the United States of America because we are united. And we are states.
The significance of the passage of time, right? The significance of the passage of time. So when you think about it, there is great significance to the passage of time.
Whatever we have in store cannot be known. The past was once the future. The future is, I should say, unknown.
We got to take this stuff seriously as you are, because you have been forced to have to take it seriously.
Obesity is a serious disease, and it needs to be taken seriously.
Certain issues are just settled.
Clearly we're not.
No, that's right, and that's why I do believe that we are living, sadly, in real unsettled times.
Oh my God! Honestly, if they put her on the ticket, how could you not just play everything like that she's ever said and done as a competing commercial by the Republicans? I mean, what an airhead!
They have painted themselves in a corner, though. They cannot take a black woman off. She has to decide herself she doesn't want to be there.
It's to match with whom? I mean, this is hysterical. I'm dying over thinking about this. And honestly, it's even beyond comedy. She's a disgrace. Can you imagine anybody bragging about our vice president? I mean, most of us really don't care much about vice presidents. You know, we used to make fun of Dan Quayle. He can't spell potato, and he wanted to play golf, and so that's fine. But we've never had one that was this ridiculous. I mean, the woman can't form a sentence, and certainly can't talk about cultural issues and the future and where our culture's going. It's just unbelievable. Anyway, I can't believe it. Okay. Hold on. What else we got? I got a billion things. It's 3:42 almost already. Pete, let's talk about the coach. Football coach at Northwestern University. We mentioned the other day they suspended him because some players had complained. It was kind of a secret thing going on for years. Some players had complained about some hazing, which was getting out of control. And the players said they were humiliated by it, and it was hideous and awful. It was kind of sexual in nature, and that the coach knew about it. And so the athletic department people, or the head of the university people, suspended him. And then Pete noticed last night. Oh, by the way, we have a call. Hold on there, Grubbinator. Be right with you. We have a call. We have a call coming up here in a second. Noticed last night that apparently he's gone forever. What's the deal, Pete? Do you know the latest?
Well, they said he was suspended for 2 weeks, and then without calling or telling him, they said he was gone. And he's upset about that, so he's suing. He's lawyering up, and this is going to go to court and all that mess. It's a mess up there. But I think what came out was more and more stories came out. And first of all, the school president, he's got to go too, because he claims he didn't know what was going on, even though they were investigating what was going on. He didn't know it was going on. And it's like, please, if they're investigating, they're not reporting to you that, look, we're hearing some stuff up there. And then his investigative committee came back and said, well, we don't think the coaches knew about it, which another was BS. Everybody knew it was BS. So I think both him and the president have got to go. But when it gets to the point where they're talking about, and these are more the players coming out every day about this, they literally would take the freshmen and take their clothes off in a dark locker room. Yeah. The upperclassmen would be naked, wearing masks. At that point, I'm going, where's the transfer portal? I am out of here.
They would hold him down. They would hold down the younger kid, and then they would hump him.
Or even worse, stuff like that.
They would go in the shower. They would.
Don't get too graphic.
You can imagine. On the other hand, I remember. I think Mark Spitz used to joke about the fact that Olympic swimmers, when they train all day in the pool, that they all will turn to the side and. Whatever. Their friend there next to him. Anyway,
I'm just saying we've all been through a little hazing at some point, and I don't think that's a bad thing. Yeah. But where does it draw the line?
Yeah, if you're getting sexual and abusive, and one of the guys I think was a Mexican American kid, and he said they were doing racial stuff, and again that I can sort of. I can sort of see pranks and making fun of you. Hell, we've all got. If you've been in a fraternity, I remember when they used to do stuff to us when I was hazed at Phi Delta Theta. Holy crap!
What?
Well, they would. First of all, it was that we were not wearing a lot of clothes, and they did the old thing where they would try to make you fart and next to your buddy and stuff, and they would pour stuff on us from up above on the railing, like 20 feet below, and they pour just stuff. It wasn't cruel, but it was just nasty and and horrible. They make us say things and do stuff.
It wasn't harmful.
It wasn't. I mean, nobody broke a bone or anything. They didn't take you out in the wilderness blindfolded and leave you there. I mean, it was nothing like that.
It just led to a little gay porn on your app.
Well, I was young. I needed the money. No, I mean, hey, But again, when you're starting doing sexual, and after we're going to take a break here, I want to get Grubbinator on too about our top golf experience coming up Thursday. But also, this leads to something that I actually experienced when I was in the Marines at Camp Lejeune, about when you let youngsters, adolescent, high energy, macho, football players were all, let's throw me a towel, guy, and boot camp in the Marines, let them control punishment and things like that. It can get out of hand real easy without even knowing it. And I did it. We'll come back with that. And Grubbinator, hold everything. It's 3 if that's 4:15 already on 106.3 or something. Anyway. Look out. Here we go. 350, 10 before for. It's the Who. Was on this day, 2002. The funeral for The Who's bass player John Entwistle took place at the church at the Cotswolds, which was built in the 1100s. And it says here more than 200 mourners filed into the 12th century church. 200 for the Who's? That doesn't seem like a lot.
It's a small church.
A small church. Well, that certainly explains it. Anyway, all right. And now, by the way, calls. Hold on. Grubinator and Christian, be right with you. Just 1 second. Quickly, a history note. In 1804, what a story this was. I saw this on a TV special with Kelsey Grammer not long ago. 1804, this day, Alexander Hamilton and Vice President Aaron Burr got in a pistol duel to the death. Alexander Hamilton lost and was killed. He's still on the $10 bill and a play after him when he changed races. But Alexander Aaron Burr finished out his term as Thomas Jefferson's vice president, but his political career was dead, and he basically had to kind of take it on the lam. They were almost I think they charged him with murder.
No, they charged him to try treason because he supposedly was trying to get Texas to succeed or take over Texas.
Yeah, it wasn't that the reason that because he was slandered by Hamilton or something. I forgot what exactly their feud was, but anyway, that was a fight to fuel. And I heard one historian says that he thinks that Hamilton may have deliberately missed. Where gentlemen in those days would, if they had a duel and they really didn't want to have it. I mean, if somebody slaps you in the face, it means you got to face him with a pistol to kill him or be killed. I mean, and so the gentlemanly thing to do would be have you both miss.
They were two alpha males in New York, and they were vying to be who was going to be the top dog in New York.
Yeah. It's 3:53. To the phone. So hold on, Christian. Here's the Grubinator. But I'm so sorry to make you wait all this time. Bless you for waiting all this time, and welcome. You're on the radio. How's it going? What's up?
Bless you too, young man. First of all, I think you guys are doing an outstanding job. Keep up the good work.
Thank you.
Also, thank you for your service. My dad was a staff sergeant stationed in the Philippines in the Second World War. I just can't thank you guys enough for putting yourself out there and doing what you do.
Well,
regarding Topgolf, I'm just wondering, given your proficiency, your stated proficiency, are you going to be providing any lessons while you're out there?
I'm definitely a know-it-all. As Flounder. No, your left hand's got to be, the finger's diagonal on the shaft. I know it all. Sure.
One word of caution, like Flounder said, don't be the guy that walks in with his whole bag. On the Kimmer Legion, just quick, I'm doing what I can to try to expand the Kimmer Legion, and I think I've got my son, who's gonna. If he ever calls though, Kimmer, I can't have you pulling what you did with Luke to Lucas at 4 kids years ago. Do not tell him that I'm gonna buy him a pony.
You're gonna get a pony for your birthday.
Anyway, keep up the good work.
Thanks.
Maybe we'll see you on Thursday.
Thank you. I appreciate it, Grubman. Come by if you can make it. We're up there in Alfred. Again, thanks, man. I appreciate it. 3:54. Again, it's a job. No, it's not. It's a meeting of people.
Quit saying
people
that.
Have come. Well, I don't know what you call it. Nobody. I don't see a note in front of me. I'm ad-libbing, and I'm just going along with a program. We're helping the little businesses to show up and be little businesses, and you can look at them and everything and say, I love your little business, and by God, you're doing a great job. So, I mean, who could be happy with anything other than that? To the phones. Here's Christian's on the radio. Hello, Christian. How's it going?
Hey, my name is Christian. I got some guests here. Want to hi to you.
Oh, excellent.
Want to greet you.
Special guest. All right, sir. Yeah.
Hey, this is Homer Simpson, and I hope you're doing a great time at this new station.
Yeah, Homer. We're having a wonderful time, Homer.
Yeah.
Big listener, are you?
Hey, I'm Ray. Yeah, good. And here's Ray Taylor. Hey, I'm Ray Taylor. You know what happened to WPLK New York?
Race Taylor. What happened to Race?
Bought by Caleb. Yeah, and I got Jack Diamond here. What? Talk about it?
Jack Diamond's here.
Hey.
Who?
Hey, Jack Diamond from the Jack Diamond Morning Show.
The Jack Diamond, famous Jack Diamond show. Yeah, we was listening to
you know what happened
yesterday.
to WRQX?
RQX?
I've been bought by Kayla.
Oh, no.
Sensing a theme.
I can't. Thank you, Christian. I said my cheeks are cracking from the smiling laughter. I can't really keep going. I won't be able to talk the rest of the day. I just.
Where's my gun?
Right here. Oh, my God. No, we occur. But trust me, it's wonderful. We're all in favor of that. Oh, by the way, something on my phone just popped up again. I don't believe this. And by the way, we do have news stuff, and I just don't feel like getting to it right now, but we will, I promise you. So it popped on my phone again. Every week or so, it says, there's a meme, and it says, don't lose a good man because he slept with someone by mistake. Okay, everybody says, what do you mean by, how do you sleep with somebody by mistake? I mean, what, you fell on the sidewalk and a girl happened to be laying down at the time and you mistakenly
you trip and you fall into her?
Into her, yeah. I mean, it's nature's window. You were hoping to see if anybody's home. I don't know. I mean, I don't know how you get to the analogy. But again, and guess what? I'm not making this up. I just got it I just popped up my phone again. Don't lose a good man because he slept with someone by mistake. 500,000 responses. I mean, so what's the point? I mean, you think somebody opens it up to read 500,000 responses? I don't know. And by the way, can someone make money on that? I mean, what's the point of doing it other than taking 20 seconds for me to read my phone again? What's the purpose for this? Just to have something on your phone?
Some people like to confess on Twitter anonymously.
Well, I guess, but again, there's no such. See, I don't know. Well, it's kind of funny. Also, by the way, speaking of kind of kinky stuff, there was a special on last night. I started watching it, but I didn't make it. It was on 10 o'clock, A&E, I think, and it was on Secrets of Miss America pageant. And it was followed by and I saw this when they did a series of special on Secrets of the Playboy Mansion and about how it was really not exactly a lot of those girls were really messed up over the drugs and the sex and the demands and stuff like that with the Playboy Mansion. This is on the back scene power trips of the Miss America pageant apparently, and some of the girls they interviewed like 20 girls who were absolutely shattered by their experience running for Miss America. So I haven't, again, I'm going to see the rest of it tonight, and I'll keep you posted, but I thought it was kind of funny. All right, a quick wrap-up thing.
Quick, actually, it kind of reminds me of a funny story this past weekend.
Yeah.
So I was up at Lake Burton hanging out with Veronica and her brother, wife, and their daughter. Mm-hmm. And she's 6 or 7, so she's into Barbie's a big thing right now. That new movie's coming out.
Yeah.
And so she was watching Barbie on the streaming platforms, and we kind of turned over and noticed she had turned on Breaking Barbie.
What?
It's an adult movie.
Are you serious?
Dead serious. And luckily nothing came on that was too graphic, but I'd say maybe another 15 seconds in.
But how did she get onto a porn movie?
We have no idea.
Was that on a computer?
It was a streaming service. So she had Barbie on all morning, and then I guess she just typed in Barbie, and the first thing that came up, I don't know.
So on her phone?
It was a television.
Did you happen to catch the name of that streaming service? Big fan of Barbie here.
All right, I promise we'll get to actual topics, or not. I don't know. Anyway, have a little fun here. It's a freaking Tuesday with the Kimber and Pete and Flounder and Not Davis. All coming up here 4 o'clock on 106.3. Look out. Da-da-da-da-da. Ricky Martin, naughty boy. Da-da-da. Da-da-da-da. Blank. Was on this day in 1999, Ricky Martin began a 3-week run at number 1 on the British singles chart with Livin' La Vida Loca. Made the U.S. number 1 for 5 weeks. It was the first number 1 song to be recorded, edited, and mixed totally on a DAV, a digital audio, workstation. Well, that's really exciting. Okay, no, I'm sorry. I don't give up. What? No, it's fine. I'm not a nice person. Quick birthday. The wildlife guy Jeff Corwin is 56. I thought Corwin. Yeah, not Corwin. Well, who was the Professor Corwin? Well, that was Saturday Night Live or somebody? Corey?
Professor Herman Corey.
Yeah, something like that. Anyway, by the way, a rather bizarre story. Now, remember this. At the time, was on this day. I got to put on my reading my thing. I think with the thing here. Was on this day in 1999. An Air Force jet flew over the Antarctic and parachuted emergency medical supplies for Dr. Jerry Nelson after she had discovered a lump in her breast, and she was stationed alone at the South Pole Research Center. She was newly divorced, wanted to shake up her life. She was an Ohio emergency room doctor. She spent the polar winter giving medical care to 40 scientists and people. 47th birthday in March, she found a lump in her breast. Weeks after the last flight of the season took off, and she was all alone, and it was too dangerous to try to land in the temperatures and the dark and everything for months and months. So she said, I thought I was dead. I just thought I'm cooked. The mass kept growing, and she used ice and a local anesthetic to perform her own biopsy with the help of a resident welder who was there, who practiced by sticking needles into an apple and a shriveled up yam. She sent the tissue samples by a video link. Were not conclusive. Doctors said, you're going to need chemotherapy and medical equipment, and the only way they could do it through the rare midwinter airdrop, did it in July in total darkness in a field lit by a fire. They dropped the stuff to her, and she treated herself by herself. And she said the tumor shrank, then it kind of grew again. By the fall, the doctor said, you got to get out of there, but she didn't want to leave. And now here comes the sad part in this story to me. I didn't know this part until I read it today. By September, her doctors were urging her to evacuate, but she found herself not wanting to leave the frozen frontier. After a bitter divorce that gave her husband custody of their 3 children, she saw her colleagues as her new family. I was so happy there. I figured I was going to die anyway. I'd rather stay in my perfect home. The people are what make a home. I learned about community. I learned about friendship. What an important thing to find out, even if it is the last year of your life. Well, the National Guard conducted a dangerous but successful evacuation mission, withstanding 60 below zero temperatures to pick her up. And one of the earliest recorded flights in winter conditions to the South Pole. She had surgeries, mastectomy, but the cancer came back, and she died in 2005 at the age of 57. Anyway, the woman who had to treat herself alone at the South Pole.
Why isn't there a movie about that?
It's a hell of a story. It's a hell of a story. And you didn't think, about what could happen.
You got to wonder what she did, though, for the man to get custody of 3 children.
Well, she was an emergency room doctor, and it may just have been that she was just dedicated to not, was never there, and I don't know.
She'd rather die and leave her 3 kids without a mother.
That's what's so sad, that she I don't have a family anymore. I'll stay with you guys.
Wow.
That's harsh. Very harsh. Let me wrap up quick this thing about the coach Pat Fitzgerald at Northwestern, who got fired because he either knew and lied saying he didn't know, or if he didn't know, he should have known. Either way, and the same with the president of the place for that matter, as Pete was mentioning. Anyway, and I mentioned my point, and it kind of reminded me of something. If you leave control and punishment and standards of things to young men who are aggressive and macho macho and, athletes who were, pumped full of adrenaline and
meatheads,
guys. Oh, and the same thing goes in, boot camp in the Marines. But I remember, what is the famous play about the little boys who are left on an island? They grow up.
Lord of the
Flies, exactly. And those things are real. And I can, I'm telling you, when I made PFC out of Parris Island boot camp, when we went to Camp Lejeune, I was there for one of the leaders of all the other troops who did not make a rank out of Parris Island. And so, and at some point, the guys who outranked me put me and a friend of mine, another PFC, in charge of this whole platoon. And the guys were acting up and screwing around. And man, we made them do stuff, and I punished them till they were screaming and yelling and throwing up. And they just had to take it. And it was, and I got a kick out of it. I mean, it really was, we really were, lost control, and it just felt so powerful. And it was wrong. I mean, nobody got, broken bones or anything, but still, it was so easy. And and I remember, I'm thinking back now, it's, oh my God, that was easy to happen. It was not, do the chair. I'm just, screaming and yelling and punishing guys who, had to take it. And they couldn't do anything. If they talked back to you, they would make them do even more. It was a total power thing. But again, you've just come out of 3 months of Parris Island and stuff. So, but again, you leave. That's why football players have hazing things. But when it gets sexual like that, that's way out of bounds.
It brought the sadist out in you, and it brought the sexual pervert out in these players.
Yeah, there was none of that going on.
Which is why in high school I never really liked the wrestling part. Being attached to another sweaty body of a boy was not my idea.
I told you when I was my first year at college, I signed up for some reason for wrestling, and after the first one, I quit because I said, "Oh my God, I have to grapple this big heavy guy." I quit. They flunked me, and I told you. Then it was like 2 years later, I get a phone call and a knock on the door from a lawyer because one of the kids in that wrestling class in college was suing the coach because he had like a broken neck, and he claimed the coach didn't teach us how to do calisthenics properly or something, and they wanted me to testify. And I said, no, I don't know. I was there once, man. I don't know anything. So again, there you go. And I will grapple with another sweaty guy. My God. All right, what is that? 4:10 already. Holy cow. Geez, we got so much to do. I don't even know where to start. Oh, how about a comedy bit? We haven't done we did the Veep thing. Let's do a little Flounders Funnies at your leisure, sir. Something of amusement for our entertaining folks.
Like I said, I was born in America, but my family, my sisters, my parents, everybody, all born in Afghanistan. And something happened in September of 2001 where it wasn't dope to be from Afghanistan. So my mom, she would tell me, hey, don't tell people we're from Afghanistan, all right? Don't let them know your heritage because they might hurt you. There might be violence towards you. So lie. But she didn't tell me what to say. So I would just tell kids I was from Pakistan. They didn't have that reaction. Kids don't know the difference. Still got harassed and bullied all the time. Well, then I was like 13 or 14, I figured it out. I was like, all right, the stands, they're not working for me. I am now Mexican. Let's do this. It was dope. I blended in. Nobody could tell, Until there were like follow-up questions that I wasn't ready for. The kids would be like, oh, you're Mexican, eh? What part of Mexico? And I'm like, the Middle East part? I don't really know.
Who's that guy?
His name is Dawood Nemyar.
Well, I guess he wants to get rid of that whole Afghanistan
rolls off the tongue. Dawood.
What a country. It's 4:12 here on the hideously disgusting 106.3 as we roll through the Tuesday afternoon. The grand juries, two grand juries seated today with that chicken-livered white hater Fannie no backbone Willis, the coward of the Fulton County, the DA, who's been trying to put Donald Trump in jail. And by the way, you're going to coming up here in just a second. Well, I'll tell you more about the story, what she's done, what she's trying to do. And you'll hear from the former grand jury forewoman. Remember that, the witch? Well, we'll give you a little back down memory lane of that chick, too, coming up in a second. 4:13 here with a Kimber and Pete Flounder and Not Davis on 106.3. Ain't a darn da darn. Look out, it's only me. Mercy, 418. My God. Well, if you're not high, you just can't just appreciate the musical town. 1992, Jerry Garcia came out with a range of 8 ties designed by Jerry Garcia of the Grateful Dead. Went on sale in the United States. President Bill Clinton bought a set of them. The collection grossed millions of dollars by the end of the year. And I remember when they came out, and I don't think I ever bought. I'm trying to remember whether one of them, I think Jennifer may have bought me one once because she was a Grateful Dead head and fan and stuff. But that was 1992. Jerry Garcia tie. But in fact, the thing is, I have ties in my closet. I know I have ties that are at least 50 years old. My wife who loved me, the one who loved me, starter wife, she made me designed a Snoopy tie, well, a navy blue tie, and then she cut out in white felt the character of Snoopy doing the dance. The famous Snoopy dance, and she drew the character and glued it onto that tie, and so I have a Snoopy dancing tie that the wife who loved me made for me back in, I think, 1969 or 1970. Oh, my God. Anyway, yes, the story of the Kimmer's ties. Birthdays include Sela Ward. Sela Ward, handsome woman.
Beautiful.
She's
from Meridian, Mississippi.
Sheila Ward is 67. Once and again, CSI New York, House MD. She was in a million things. Just a handsome, very classically beautiful woman. All right, here we go. Let's see. Here's if you want to call 404-741-1230, 741-1230. Neil Borch, Pete Davis, and Flounder at the controls, and Nat Davis is back here too. Neil Borch just did a Borch report on Portland and how the city council or the city people now, if you work for the city, you no longer can use male or female or woman or man. It's got to be they or them or whatever. Yeah. Also, have you heard about what Portland also just did? And the drug counselor people in Portland are going nuts about this. Mm-hmm. Portland has just made it easier for fentanyl addicts to get their fix. A drug counselor named Kevin Dahlgren says the city is lacking solutions to tackle the growing number of crises, including the drug problem, leaving many members of the community outraged, and now their plan is to just let them all die. This is the deadliest drug in history, and now they're giving them the means to kill themselves faster in these harm reduction clinics. Here's the deal. Portland is making it easier to get their fix by distributing aluminum foil, straws, and pipes to smokers while the city continues grappling with raging drug and homelessness epidemics. It's part of the county's harm reduction effort. A strategy that provides drug users with their drugs, including clean needles, pipes, and overdose reversing naloxone, or naloxone, I don't know what it's called. But the new part, they're adding supplies for people who smoke drugs. And they've seen a shift from injecting drugs to smoking drugs so they can engage people who may not otherwise engage in services. So now they're going after the drug smokers. Fentanyl normally is smoked rather than injected. So the people are stopping to go to the injection clinics because they're smoking it now. So the clinic said, well, hell, we'll just go find them and give them the straws and the aluminum foil they need to mix their drugs so they can smoke their fentanyl. Holy God, isn't that the most dangerous drug in the world right now?
To decrease the surplus population.
Well, apparently it's to get rid of all the people.
Yeah, that's the plan.
I mean, how else can you describe this? Where do you think all the drug users are going to be moving to now, by the way?
They're already there. You've been to Portland? I was there in 2005, and it was so depressing because every street corner was a bunch of black-clad youths with their hands sitting there blocking the footpath with their hands out expecting you to give them money.
Wow. We know Portland and Seattle. I mean, all that whole. Remember the Summer of Love? I mean, it's going on for 3 years now. So they get what they deserve, and if this is the way they're going to handle it, then screw them. I don't feel bad for them. That's why you keep voting for these people, and this is what they give you. Anyway, I look at the people fleeing from San Francisco and Los Angeles, and, well, here you go.
Which is why we've got good news from that local person who is changing from the Democrat to the Republican Party. She's a black woman.
Yep, and a Georgia state legislator who until like yesterday was a Democrat. Tell the story.
Yeah, her name is Misha Maynor. She served in the state house since 2021. It will allegedly switch her party registration to Republican, claiming she was demonized by her Democrat colleagues for daring to support school choice for disadvantaged black kids. How dare you try and make them leave the plantation?
It's amazing that I mean, you would think that particularly black families where there maybe is no father, mother living together, that a woman raising or a grandmother raising kids by herself would want to have the best opportunity possible, given those conditions, to get the kid in the best school he can get in. So how could you not be in favor of a system that would give your broken home child a better chance at an education, unless you just don't give a damn?
Because the Democratic Party is run by the teachers' unions that give them money, and vote for them about 96% of the time. That they don't care about the kids. The teachers don't care about the kids. It's all about the money and the power for the party.
And they certainly don't care about being a black female. I mean, they turned on her. Here, a black female.
How dare she?
And they turn on her because she wanted to leave the plantation.
Hopefully this will give people in her district a choice, and we'll see if they have a chance now, because it's hard to run Republicans in black neighborhoods because they're so overwhelmingly Democrat. They don't stand a chance. Maybe she will stand a chance.
Well, we'll see. And by the way, give her name again, Pete.
Her name is Misha Maynor, Mainor. Maynor.
It doesn't say what district. And I tried to Google. I guess I ran out of time before I got the actual what city she represents, or what district, or what area. Do we know?
No, I don't know off the top of my head.
All right, we'll try. If we can Google, we'll find out. Also, Republicans rolled out the new national voting law, and it's a beauty. It secures election integrity. It's a warning to Americans, you're not going to get away with it like you Democrats have always done. You have to have a photo ID. Non-citizens cannot vote. Annual maintenance of voter rolls, and it prevents mailing unsolicited ballots to rolls that have not been maintained. This new act, which is now passed, in fact, the Republicans came to the Marietta Diner yesterday here in Georgia to announce this plan to make it easy to vote and hard to cheat. Unfortunately, you remember Georgia's voting law passed in 2021. The Dems said it was Jim Crow 2, voter suppression, Jim Crow in a suit and tie, racist. They took away our all-star game, called us racist and everything else. We had the biggest voter turnout of black people in the history of the world. It was clearly anything but a voter suppression law in Georgia. So the new one's based on the Georgia law, which was so successful. And unfortunately, it's also going to be killed because the two Georgia senators are both liberal socialists who are going to kill the bill. So the great bill based on Georgia's voting law, statewide voting law, which is so good, is going to be killed because the statewide Georgia voters didn't elect two Republican senators. That's why. So it's going to be dead. No sense even talking about it. And Fannie Chicken Liver, the coward of Fulton County, the DA, still going after Trump, putting in 2 grand juries today. Oh, by the way, President...
Real quick, Kimmer, she is the... representative for the 56th District of Georgia.
Okay, and that it represents the people of
Georgia.
The Georgia people.
56.
56ville, yes. It was the
56th District of Georgia.
You go by 42ville, and you take a left, go 9 miles, and then exit number 17 is 56 town, and that's so much more beneficial to our...
ass bag.
What the Oh, it's just 56. I thought it was 58.
No, 56.
56. I definitely stand. Thank you. Stand corrected.
Get Not Davis on that.
Yeah, get Not Davis. Give him something to do back there, apparently. My God. We mentioned yesterday when we saw the video of President White Trash, President Warmonger, who was being led away by the arm with Prince Charlie the third in England on this little trip. And everybody else knows was the same thing. Pete and I were looking at the TV at the same time, saying, "Oh my God, look at this man! He looks like an erector set who is being led by the arm. He didn't know where he was, what they were going to do, inspecting the guard. He also, like Pete mentioned, stepped in front of the king, which you're not supposed to do. We'll get to that here in a moment. But some of the reaction after he was led away, like being guided, what a horrible optic moment. How is this even real? King Charles showing Biden where to go? We are a laughing stock. The optics are horrible for Biden. Looks like Mr. Magoo inspecting the troops. So that's a hat? That's not your actual hair?" He's talking to one of the guards. "Oh, that's not your hair? This is the dementia walk in full color and 1080p. A reminder of how good Trump was for Britain. How much I miss the late Queen," when a British commentator said. A politics co-owner said, "A confused Biden walks in front of King Charles during his visit to the UK. The media doesn't seem to have an issue with this. Let's see what they had to say when Trump walked in front of the Queen. I wonder if they'll give Biden the same treatment." Well, as you'll recall, Time magazine reported when Trump walked in front of the Queen, a royal faux pas. A royal commentator, Fitzwilliams, told CNN Trump might as well have been wandering up and down a golf course. He forgot how to walk in the clip. I mean, again, it's just everybody in the world's making fun of us because of our president. He looks like an idiot. He is an idiot. My God. 4:29 already. All right, hold on. We got more comedy. But also, Founders Funnies, and the Christian song that knocked off Taylor Swift, and how one of the Beach Boys says he can't even sing a song he wants to sing anymore. You're going to hear from those two coming up, and more good and fun stuff here with Pete and everything. Look out. Here we go. Pete and Flounder. Look out. The name of the people he's talking about, but we'll see who's talking about our show. Sure, with Pete and Flounder and not Davis. Anyway, 4:30. How's it going? It's on the Kimmer. Hey, veterans, 10% discount. Metro Atlanta Roofing and Remodeling. This is a great company. This is a company that loves its veterans, unlike some of the people at the VA. I'm messing. Oh, sorry. Back to the actual topic. Metro Atlanta Roofing and Remodeling. 10% discount for veterans right off the top, because he appreciates what's going on. Barry Reese, he owns the joint. By the way, I love to mention the fact that Barry is a licensed insurance adjuster. So if you have an issue about your roof or remodeling, or something happened to your house, and Metro Atlanta Roofing and Remodeling did, and they try to jerk you around with your insurance, no. Barry Reese, nobody's going to pull his chain on you. Homeowners, they're licensed and insured, A+ business rating, repair warranties, making sure those leaks are 100% fixed. Up on the roof, there are valleys and things. They make sure you are protected with ice and water shields and those kind of angle things up on the roof. If you need a new roof, it comes with a complete lifetime warranty on materials and labor. Free drone inspection for your own peace of mind. Project managers show up to make sure that every job they do is done perfectly and right and on time. Period. So tell them the Kimmer sent you, and here's a phone number, area 470-538-1729. By the way, if you don't know things about damage for rafter tails or hipped ends, soffits and stuff like that, they know all that stuff. These are the real pros. And it's not just roofing, it's remodeling if you have stuff in other parts of your house, your deck, stuff like that too. Metro Atlanta Roofing and Remodeling. Please tell them the Kimmer sent you. They don't meet expectations until they exceed your expectations. 10% vet discount. You get them by going to MetroAtlantaRoofing.com. This is going to be funny. It's only me. It's only the Kimmer. 4:35 with Pete Flounder and Not Davis. All right, you're playing 1982. All right, Flounder, tell the little people who you decided to have play on this, coming back for this musical break here.
Phil Collins.
Phil Collins, okay. On your music sheet that you have here, in your green thing out here, hey man, putting out the thing. It's Phil Collins.
Ooh, I screwed that up, didn't I?
It looks like Phil Collins, but it's Phil Collins, Collen, 1982, and the caption is, Phil Collins, former guitarist and glam rock band Girl, replaced Pete Willis in Def Leppard, who was fired because he was a drunk. So it's a guy named Phil Collins instead of Phil Collins, but we played a Phil Collins song because it just is fine by me, but I thought that was pretty funny. Usually I'm the one who screws up everything.
Good catch.
In this day in history, 1798, the United States Marine Corps was actually permanently established by Congress. Any real Marine knows the birth of the Marines was in Tun Tavern, a bar, in 1775 on November 10th. How could I forget? Not only am I branded with USMC, I had my heart attack on a Marine Corps birthday. Anyway, in 1798, John Adams had drafted the original resolution to raise 2 battalions in November of 1775 for the Revolutionary War. Once John Adams became president, he also got to be the guy who signed the bill to permanently establish the Corps in 1798. And Semper Fi, all you jarheads. Oh, there you go. Anyway,
we have the latest on this Ms. Maynor.
Oh, what's the deal?
Okay, Flounder looked this up, or
yes.
Davis, I don't know which. She started working with Congressman John Lewis up in D.C.
Okay.
She's worked for the CDC. She has worked at Emory Healthcare and Children's Hospital. She's also founded the Junior Business League to teach children to be entrepreneurs. Huh? This is a very smart woman.
Yeah, that's unbelievable.
She is a member of the House. She represents, and this is not good news, Midtown Atlanta.
No, it's over.
Ansley Park, Castleberry Hill, Atlantic Station.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Dixie Hills. I can't believe there's anything in Atlanta still called Dixie Hills. Yeah. Sherwood Forest, West Midtown, West End, and the last remaining residing neighborhood of Martin Luther King Jr. before he died, the Sunset Avenue Historical District.
Oh, boy.
The only chance I don't know why she didn't declare as an independent and caucus with the Republicans. Yeah. The fact that she's come out and said, I'm a Republican now, the only way she wins in this district is to say, look, I still share all your values, all the gay rights, because it's a huge gay area. I share all the other things you believe in, civil rights and all this other stuff, but I believe in school vouchers for the children, and here's why. Yep. That's the only way she can win a re-election.
Yeah, and I would think if she makes that point, again, what do you want for your children? Do you want a better education? Well, I'll give you, vote for me, and you'll get that plus all the other things.
You also got to understand, in most of these neighborhoods, there's a lot of people who do not have kids.
Well, that's true. Yeah, Ansley Park, Sherwood Forest. We used to work in Sherwood Forest. That's right. That's where I got in a fight on Veterans Day with a guy to put him in a hospital. It was in Sherwood Forest, right there at the corner.
You used to work there. They never let me go over there.
Oh, that's right. That was way before your time. Anyway, by the way, here's the number if you want to call us: 404-741-1230, 741-1230. By the way, let me tell you about the story of Mike Love. Mike Love with the Beach Boys, or actually formerly with the Beach Boys, there's been a lot of disputes about very Gwen thing, has now said that he is afraid to perform the song that you're about to hear now because of the woke crowd. Flounder, if you would, sir. Mike Love, formerly with the Beach Boys, he recorded a song with Dean Torrance of Jan and Dean, Be True to Your Bud, for the Budweiser fight song to advertise Bud back in the 80s. Boo, boo, boo. Little girl, little one. Mike Love says he can't perform Surfer Girl because it's gender specific, implying that he fears retaliation from the FBI or the FGI and Budweiser. I swear, I'm not making that up.
The drugs have taken
That's
hold.
what he says. And by the way, here's the result of him tweeting out this, that he's afraid to do this song. If right-wing pieces of blank like Guy Fieri and Mike Love would just keep their horrible views to themselves, nobody would know how horrible they are. But this is an era where pieces of blank seem to want everyone to know they're blankety blank. Fine, at least now we know. This is only one of the many reasons people hate Mike Love. Come on, Beach Boy Mike Love, a.k.a. the other Beach Boy band without Brian Wilson, Al Jardine, and Bruce Johnston, should stick to selling his $50 baseball caps, gold coins, and reverse mortgages. If you ever feel bad about yourself, always remember, at least you're not Mike Love. Oh, my God. Mike Love claims he's afraid of the FBI for his surfer girl. Oh, my God.
He's going on Hugh Hefner. Not the Hugh, who's the crazy one?
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Hugh... oh my God! We just talked about him last week. The guy built the planes.
Billy Howard Hughes. Howard Hughes. God, I can't believe it. All right, now, in keeping with this, here we go. Here, a gospel artist named Christian artist named Jimmy Levy or Levi, Levy, has knocked off 2 anti-woke rap songs, bumping off Taylor Swift and a popular K-pop singer from the #1 spots on Billboard and iTunes. And singer Jimmy Levy says he believes the success of his anti-target songs, his gospel-type anti-target songs, have to do revealing the patriots have more influence than cultural gatekeepers want you to believe. That shows we're a majority no matter what. The mainstream and Hollywood people, the industry wants to promote whatever agenda they want to promote and try to make us look like we're the minority. People of God, patriots, Americans, it's not the truth. And no matter what, God prevails. He has Boycott Target song with MAGA rapper Forgiato Blow, took the #1 spot, bumping Taylor Swift, and then Reclaim the Rainbow with Bryson Gray and Shamika Michelle. And so here's this gospel artist who became #1, knocking off Taylor Swift, showing that it's not all, nasty woke rock and roll. It's Americans. It's not the truth. And no matter what, God prevails.
Again, the team was criticized for inviting a specific group to Pride Night at Dodger Stadium, then criticized again for uninviting them.
A short time ago, the team announced it was re-inviting them.
We're hoping to get a song. Here we go.
Book of Genesis to Satan perverted it.
Kind of hard to understand the words he's saying there. It's a terrible song. Among other things, he says, quote, "We're going to clean up on every aisle, wash it with the blood of Christ. God is coming for revenge. Target is targeting our kids." All right, there you go. Let's see, we got. Let's see.
Wish you could put it this song. Nice.
If you know me, I love everybody. I've never treated anybody differently. We're not scared of anybody. We love you anyway. So, oh my Lord. But it's #1 on iTunes and Billboard or something, I guess.
Wait, which one? Reclaim the Rainbow or the Target boycott song? Because you had to give me 2.
Well, it says the Boycott Target song took the #1 spot on the iTunes sales chart, bumping Taylor Swift.
All right, well, here's that one.
Here's Boycott Target. This is a rapper.
There's a cleanup on every aisle. Target is targeting your kids.
They put a target on my back, but they're targeting your kids. They don't even need to ask, cause you all know what it is. Yeah, that's why I keep it strapped, and I'm always by my beds. This agenda gotta stop. Yeah, you know we gonna win when they target, yeah, they targeting. Target, yeah, they target kids. Target, yeah, they targeting. Target, yeah, they target kids. They're wrong, trying to play with the kids.
Target's lost billions of dollars in worth and value after their tuck your stealth in genital thing on Gay Pride Month and their communist outfits and so forth. The song labeled homophobic by media outlets Nobody's afraid of the homo peep crowd, you know.
Excuse me, the who?
Crowd. Anyway, I don't get any of this. I just thought it was right. Oh, by the way, it's quarter. I have to break here, but coming up, Carmen Electra, and I'm afraid I don't get this at all, only because they're all nuts. She's not the one that I would want to have the pictures on, but we'll get to it in a second. Coming up, 4:45 already with the Kimmer, Pete, Flounder, and Not Davis on 106.3 right here. Gotta love your Fleetwood Mac. I'm just enjoying the music. Sorry. I don't feel like saying anything. It's 4:49, and it's only me. It's only the Kimmer with Pete Davis and Flounder and Not Davis and Fleetwood Mac on this day in 1975. We'll play the thing. Lights go down, baby. That's what she said. Fleetwood Mac. Singing me. Yeah, you love me. They released their 10th album from the studio on this day in 1975, the White Album, the first Fleetwood Mac album to feature Lindsey Buckingham as guitarist and Stevie Nicks as vocalist. Reached number one Billboard chart over a year after entering and spent 37 weeks in the top 10, more than 15 months in the top 40. And the White Album by Fleetwood Mac was the second biggest album of 1976 behind Peter Frampton Comes Alive.
So I guess Pete would probably know this. That was the first album without Peter Green.
He may have left even before that, or maybe, I don't know.
I would certainly have no idea about that, Mr. Green.
At least you're honest.
Yeah, we don't have no possible explanation for Mr. Green's situation here. 1955 on this date, President Dwight D. Eisenhower signs a bill mandating all paper money shall now bear the inscription, "In God We Trust." There you are, man.
Hey, y'all want to play a contest?
We do want to play a contest.
All right, it's between Flounder and Kimmer.
All right.
And because Flounder may be at a disadvantage by his age, we'll give him the first crack at this.
All right, sir.
All right.
Okay. All right, here we go.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Yesterday was the anniversary of Mel Blanc's death.
That's correct, yes.
Mel Blanc, the great cartoon voice, did all the things we grew up with, all the great. So here's the contest.
All right.
Flounder will start.
Yeah.
Name a voice, a cartoon voice that Mel Blanc voiced.
Okay.
And when you name one, then it's Kimmer's turn, and we'll go back and forth till we find one can't come up with another name.
Oh, boy. Okay.
So, Flounder, and no cheating.
Well, I was just going to Google on my phone there.
I don't have a phone or my so I'll go.
Davis, you're the moderator. You have to make sure they do not cheat.
Okay. No cheating.
I want to play. I want to win.
All right, I'll go with Mickey Mouse.
Oh,
oh, my God, you've already lost.
That's not right, no.
He did not do. Okay, Kimmer, what do you think?
Bugs Bunny.
Correct. All right, Davis, you name me one.
I'll go ahead and go Speedy Gonzalez.
Very good. Andale, viva. That's right. All right, Flounder, I'll give you another chance here.
Let's see. Donald Duck.
No.
Of course.
That's two you've missed there, Kimmer.
Yosemite Sam.
Very good. Yosemite Sam. All right, Davis?
Daffy Duck, not Donald Duck.
You're despicable. Yes, Daffy Duck. Yeah, okay, Flounder, last chance.
Let's see. Yeah, I need some theme music. My mind's going blank. Cartoon.
This is so pathetic.
I can't think of one.
All right, Kimmer?
Well, I'm debating between Pepe Le Pew and there was another. Who was?
You can only name one, man. Don't keep giving names out.
Let's see. Pepe Le Pew. I'll do Pepe Le Pew. I don't think that's right.
Monsieur, mademoiselle. Yeah. Yes, you're absolutely
it is great.
correct.
Well, I thought.
Pepe Le Pew. All right, Davis, your turn.
How about Tweety Bird?
I thought I saw a putty tat. Yes, exactly. All right, Kimmer.
Oh, crap. Now you got me here. These guys got them all. Darn. I can hear a voice, and I can't think of the name or the face to it. If I hear a voice in my head,
you always hear voices. Well, there's nothing new here.
Yeah, we usually don't listen to them.
Where's the theme music?
Usually end up arguing, you know. No, damn it! I want to get home alive. All right.
Just one more drink.
Yeah, take a chance.
Right,
you can make it.
You've stalled enough. Give me a name.
I don't know.
You give up, Davis. You will win if you know one more.
Gonna go with one of my favorite characters, Foghorn Leghorn.
I say this, son. I
say, son.
Nice boy, but as sharp as a bag of wet mice.
Yes.
You are correct, sir. Okay, he also did Tasmanian Devil, Barney Rubble. He did Porky Pig.
That's what I was thinking of. I couldn't. That's all, folks. Yeah.
He did Sylvester the Cat.
That's another one I was thinking of too. I thought Davis mentioned that.
No, he did.
I mentioned Tweety Bird, not Sylvester the Cat.
Oh, okay, yeah.
He did Dino, the Flintstones pet.
Oh, I don't remember.
Dino, the dinosaur. Yeah. He did Marvin the Martian.
Oh, my God.
Space Modulator.
Yeah. Oh, my
heavens. He did Elmer Fudd.
That's
He did, and this one I did not know. He was the original voice of Woody Woodpecker.
That's all, folks. I'll get that wiggly would weapon and wing of Zeus. that's my Elmer Fudd impersonation.
And the great thing about Mel Blanc, he was a great actor. He was on all those Jack Benny shows.
Yes, he was. That's right. He was. What a talented guy. Very funny. Well, Davis wins the contest.
Yes, he does.
Interloper. Freaking college punks, all of them, He's got hot chicks all over the place. You can talk to every day and everything. Jeez. By the way, this was a rather bizarre story. It's a 4:55, by the way. And this really caught my attention for probably all the wrong reasons. Carmen Electra went on an OnlyFans account. She joined an OnlyFans website thing about a year ago. And OnlyFans is you have to pay money and they'll do things you want them to do, but it's not necessarily, it's not a porn, it could be a porn thing. But OnlyFans is usually thought of as a porn thing where girls will strip for you if you pay them money on your phone or your computer. Carmen Electra decided to join OnlyFans on her own about a year ago, and she says, I wasn't sure it was something I wanted to do. I looked into it hard, realized I could be my own boss. I love being part of OnlyFans. I shoot when I want. I have creative control doing whatever I want to do. She loves connecting with fans through chatting or photos or videos, and lately has received an influx of one specific inquiry. Mm-hmm. The former MTV star connected with Jenny McCarthy and did some modeling and so forth. He was on Baywatch and all sorts of. Well, Carmen Electra says she has received an influx of one specific inquiry. Quote, it's funny to me because I get a lot of requests for my feet. People want to see my feet.
Are you writing her again?
Quote, there's just this wild obsession with feet. So, of course, yes, okay, great. Do you want to see my feet? I'll just grab my phone. That's what I like. I use my phone. I don't think anyone wants to see that super professional photos. They just want to see you. So I'll just do a video of my feet and think of something, try to come up with different ideas of how you can show your feet. Or ask them, how would you like to see my feet? If there's a photo I don't want them to use, I won't send it. I could oversee everything. After, 150 covers of Playboy, I figured, why not? I love it. I love being my own boss. It's intense and empowering and self-empowering. Creatively, I've always had so many fun, creative ideas, and there's been times when I've been able to follow through with those, Well, she says she gets requests all the time to look at her pictures of her feet. And so I Googled Carmen Electra's feet. She has ugly feet. She has fat toes and no arch. She has nothing. There's nothing sexy about her feet, and there's nothing pretty about her feet. And those are the only two categories which would require 92% of all American women to cover the damn things up. If you are a member of the 8% of the last two categories, show those babies all you can. Fine, that's great, fantastic. But oh my God, she has ugly, fat, pudgy, glumpy feet.
What makes sexy feet?
Well, the look of them, they don't look like they're big fat clump things.
Admit it. Are you a toe sucker?
No. I'm not. I'm not a foot fetish guy at all. I'm telling you, there are only. And, I've been accused of marrying a girl once because she had the legs and feet to kill for. But there were, mostly it's not a thing. I mean, you just, you go, everybody has them. And so it's like elbows or, knees. What's the big deal? Although some people have attractive knees, I think probably part of your leg thing. Anyway, but again, it's just they're growing. I mean, I can't believe this woman is getting all the requests for her ugly, fat feet.
Okay. She married Dennis Rodman. Everything about her is a human walking petri dish.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, she's got to be a carrier. Dennis Rodman. Oh my God.
With a 10-foot, your 10-foot pole.
Thank you so much. Anyway, coming up, we have some more. If you want to hear some Jim Caviezel, we may do that after the 5 o'clock news update here. Let's see. More from Veep. If you didn't hear that again, comparing the Veep and the Vice President shiftless and lazy. Pete Davis is going to entertain us with many things concerning, for example, the military and Bud Light Mike's done another thing, and we have sound bites and happy stuff and songs, and a ridiculous a comment from a principal of a middle school who got caught. And Martina Navratilova says, one-word response to Megan Rapinoe. It's all coming up. 5 o'clock, standing by here shortly with a Kibber and Pete and Flounder and Not Davis on Extra 106.3. Let's get it together, ladies. Left shoulder, right a blank. Ready on your dog. Target. I want to go to Vietnam. I want to kill some Viet Cong. Roger. Road guards out. Look out. It's only me. It's only the Kimmer. How's it going? With Pete Davis, sidekick producer and sports raconteur extraordinaire, and the mechanical mangler Flounder at the controls with Not Davis in the back there, too. Boys, how's it going? Everybody happy? It's a beautiful Tuesday afternoon. Are the Braves playing today? Oh, nobody's playing today. It's the All-Star game. That's right. Hell, I forgot. Isn't that? I totally forgot. Oh, by the way, I did watch some of the home run contest last night. Boy, is that! I really haven't watched it in years. Has that really changed? Holy moly! Do we actually come up with a champion? I mean, is there one guy who stands out after all that, you know?
No, they just sit there and sweat for 3 hours and everybody goes home. Nothing happens. Well, of course they do. Yeah. Vlad Guerrero Jr. won it.
Yeah, and they, you'd think they'd be exhausted. How could they not hurt themselves?
The timer's a bad thing. You have guys taking vicious swings and they don't have a few seconds to recover. That's a really stupid idea.
I know why Matt Olson didn't want to go in it. I mean, he's good. Honestly, I watched it, and of course, they're having fun, and I guess they're doing it willingly. Do they get money for that?
Yes, they get.
Oh, they do. Oh, maybe that. But they don't. I mean, those guys are already making $30 million, so it's not like they need another $50,000 or something.
And the other problem is there's no time to ooh and ah over the home run. They got to jump right back in there, and that takes away part of the fun.
Well, that's the other thing, you couldn't even tell whether they were out or not. I mean, you see the pitch, bang, hit. See the pitch, bang, hit. And it was very
Did you also see the kid get hurt? He got hit with a ball.
No.
And I guess they had to carry him out. Got hit in the face, got a huge black eye.
Yeah, well,
100 miles an hour.
Not surprised.
Ouch.
Anyway, coming up, you're going to hear from a witch who is out to get Donald Trump. We'll play his soundbite for you. Also, Holy Crap at Sports this half hour. And a little vice presidential thing, and have a little fun here and do some stuff here today on the Kimber program. Also, some actual news. Leslie Van Houten, I heard on the news, he just got out of prison after 50 years. One of the Manson killers. Leslie Van Houten, 50 years in prison, and got out. She was sentenced to life, so they let her out early because she's still alive.
Never let her out. Never let any of them out.
Well, she got to be alive all those years when the people she murdered and helped murder didn't get to be alive all those years. So, also, we haven't really covered this too much, but earlier today, the Senate had a hearing inviting the members of the PGA, the leaders of the PGA, Professional Golf Association Tour people, to explain about sports washing with money from Saudi Arabia. Trying to take over the world in sports to pretend that they're good people now. And two things. One, apparently now the Saudi Arabian people are now trying to take over the World Tennis Association, the WTA, or what like they're doing the PGA, which is going to be interesting. And also, one of the critics of the Saudis taking over, or even getting involved with the PGA Tour because of the sports washing for their despicable behavior about 9/11 and the families and everything else. One of the most outraged politicians against the Saudis taking part is Da Nang Dick Blumenthal. Here's a guy who pretended he was a Vietnam veteran for years. Then got caught and said, no, I must say, you misunderstood. I'm a Vietnam era veteran. It's like the guy that I put in the hospital on Veterans Day who spit on me, and I put him in the hospital. He was in the paper saying, Rodney Holt wrote a letter and said, the Kimmer put a Vietnam veteran in the hospital, and then the guy had to say, no, I'm a Vietnam era veteran, as I wasn't in Vietnam. Anyway, so Dick Blumenthal got caught lying about being a Vietnam veteran, and then he got caught and he said, no, Vietnam era, and then later on he kept using it again. And he's still in public. They still vote for him in Connecticut, and he's out complaining about anything patriotic. You freaking phony. You don't get to take that back, scumbag. Sorry. And now on to the actual program. Donald Trump, the first grand jury a couple years ago, been trying to get him for some time since the 2020 election. Well, the chicken-livered, white, racist-hating, Fulton County DA Fannie Chicken Liver Willis is now going after with putting 2 grand juries into effect today, going after Donald Trump for election interference and so forth. She took a special grand jury earlier and needed the panel. They didn't have a subpoena power. She wanted subpoena power, but they did not have the power to indict anybody. Now, that special grand jury included a woman who is basically a witch, and led Donald Trump to say it's a witch hunt because she is a witch. Her name was Emily Kors, and she was in charge, the forewoman of the Georgia grand jury probing allegations of interference in the election by Donald Trump. Emily Kors is her name. She promotes literature called Wicca, Witchcraft, and Paganism. casting. She has pins devoted to spell casting, and one pin 2 years ago featuring a pentagram, a symbol of modern occultism. This 30-year-old Emily Kors, the head of the grand jury in Georgia, shared how witches can, quote, protect themselves during their magic work by casting a circle. Another suggests that her beginning witches get started by acquiring sea salt, rosemary, quartz, and incense, among other things. Her information has 5 types of witches: cosmic witches, divination witches, that's divine thing, divination, kitchen witches, sea witches, and green witches. Yeah. By the way, here's Emily in her own words talking about being the head of the grand jury trying to get Donald Trump.
But honestly, I kind of wanted to subpoena the former president because I got to swear everybody in. And so I thought it'd be really cool to get 60 seconds with President Trump of me looking at him and being like, do you solemnly swear? And me getting to swear him in. I kind of just thought that would be an awesome moment.
Yeah, that was the 4-woman person thing.
Yeah, not looking for justice. She's looking just to get Trump.
Yeah. She can't wait to swear him in so she could make him tell the truth. This is Georgia. And again, the Congressional House just passed a great law on voting rights and so forth, and it's going to die because of Georgia's 2 liberal senators. I mean, this is just appalling.
This is Georgia.
510. You got any Flounders funnies in there, Flounder? Let's do a little break up the thing. Pete Sport, Holy Crap at Sports coming up here shortly, and we got to break in the action here before we get to that. And we're going to also talk about military spending and Bud Light and the South Fulton mayor. A little update on that too coming up here. A little Flounders funnies.
You got to be nicer to yourself. This is hard. It's hard what we're doing, isn't it? It's hard. It's hard being a person. Yeah. It's hard. When I was little, I used to look at grown-ups with money and cars and think, wow, that looks fun. I can't wait. Then I was an adult for 6 weeks. I'm like, this blows. I have to pay for everything. Just the physical maintenance of you every day, right? It's endless. Just the brushing and cleaning and wiping, hopefully every day. It's like you're your own pet. And some people don't take care of their pet very well. You see them on the sidewalk, their hair's all matted. It looks like they just ate out of the garbage. Where's your collar, Dan?
Who's that?
His name is Tom Papa.
Tom. Oh, I know that name. Tom.
Oh my
he's
God,
been on a long time.
That's the first funny thing he has ever said.
Yeah, I was going to say I remember him back 40 years ago or something, and he was like one of the early TV comedy guys who was never particularly very funny.
Friend.
Yeah. 5:12, 5 for the time for the 5:13 break, and coming up, bed rotting. Some say it's really a wonderful way to take care of yourself. Others say you're crazy. That's all coming up. And Holy Crap of Sports next, though. And your calls, if you feel like it, all that good stuff here on the Kimmer, Pete, Flounder, and Not Davis on Extra 106.3. Myself, here we go now. On this day in 1914, Babe Ruth made his major league debut with the Boston Red Sox. Holy crap, it's sports with Pete Davis.
All right, a little second while I edit out that from the sports that I was going to do later.
Okay. Well, Nolan Ryan, Nolan Ryan on this day in 1985 struck out Astro.
Okay, all right. We have breaking news in the sports world. You don't have to play the sounder.
All right.
First of all, Grover's been missing for a week now. I'm very upset. My groundhog Grover, I've not seen him. Caddyshack is out there right now, but I have not seen Grover. So
well, it might be the weather. You know, bad weather. They probably stay underground.
No, he's in Florida. Anyway, I think he got my car earlier and took off. All right, we got breaking news. Right. Rod Manfred, finally, after all the years of me pressuring the interim commissioner, Rod Manfred, the idiot running Major League Baseball, he said today, well, there's a chance that Atlanta might get the All-Star game back in 2025. A chance.
You know what? Stick it. You keep it.
Yeah. Shut up.
Seriously, seriously, well, of course, it means
No, we want it back.
Yeah, it means $100 million. Yeah, so we
want it. Because the people who work there, that's who we screwed, the people who work there.
Yeah.
So that's why we want it back.
Yeah, we want it back, and then you can stick it. How about that?
Yeah, we can stick it. All right.
You want first.
Thank you.
Northwestern, of course, fired head coach Pat Fitzgerald after 17 seasons, and he's lawyering up, if I say that.
Yes.
Now, they had a thing called the Shrek Gang, which is what the upperclassmen did. They would lead a hazing activity called running, take a freshman who had made mistakes in practice, and the older players would wear a mask and restrain the victim in a dark locker room and then engage in sexualized behavior. Now, Fitzgerald said he didn't know anything about it, but this player, the former player, says that Fitzgerald had a specific clapping motion during practice. He would make the motion, and then he'd point to the player that they would Shrek or run later on.
Oh, my God. He pointed him out and denied he knew anything about it? That's a little different than not knowing anything.
Allegedly. Now, allegedly. We'll see if that happens. By the way, the interim coach, it says he's going to keep the assistants. The same people who knew and let this happen?
Those are the ones who were directly must have been right in the locker room.
Yeah. I don't know about you, but if I walk into a darkened locker room and see butt-naked meatheads wearing masks rolling all over a freshman, I'm looking for the nearest transfer portal to BYU or some other place. They don't do that.
Looking for the nearest cop.
They keep dressed all the time. Even when they're having sex, they keep clothes on.
Well, they're not allowed to have sex there, so that's
right. Well, former Florida quarterback Jalen Kitna entered the transfer portal yesterday, less than a week after child pornography charges against him were dropped as part of a plea deal. What, did he have Hunter Biden's lawyers?
Oh, so in other words, he's guilty?
Well, he's the son of former NFL quarterback John Kitna that pleaded no contest to 2 counts of disorderly conduct as part of the deal. He gets 1 year probation, but in 6 months they can let him off of that too.
Was it child porn?
Arrested November 30th by Gainesville, Florida, the police. 2 counts of distribution of child exploitation material, 3 counts of possession of child pornography. He shared 2 images of young girls being sexually abused on social media. They found 3 more images on his phone after they arrested him of 2 nude young girls in a shower. On Wednesday last week, he apologized in court to my family, friends, and the people that care about me. What about to the girls?
Well, yeah. I mean, were these secret captured things, and were they 16, 17, or 7?
We don't know.
I mean, if a 17-year-old girl is sending him naked pictures, that's one thing. But if it's a 9-year-old, third grader, that's a whole. Oh God.
Well, Florida cut him
How
loose.
can they make a deal if he's got child pornography? The ball game's over. You can't you can't hire him, you can't have him work for you, and you can't have him part of your family. If he's a child molester.
Here's the question. He's going to transfer. Who's going to take him?
Well, I just said child molester. That's wrong. Maybe he doesn't molest him. He's just a pervert. If he's a pervert, do you want him as part of your team?
I think he's going to Northwestern. That's where I head.
Oh, my God.
They're into that sort of thing. ESPN taking a page out of Fox Sports book about not knowing Latin players. Vlad Guerrero Jr. won the home run derby. Yeah. ESPN said he was Cuban-born.
Oh, boy.
Jr. was born in Canada. And raised in the Dominican Republic. So,
and by the way, does he not speak English?
I don't know.
He does.
He does? Okay. But whose son? There's a famous major leaguer whose son is a major league star and still can't speak English, and he was raised by a major leaguer who played for 20 years in the majors. How could you raise a kid who can't speak English?
Why
I thought
are
it was
you asking
Guerrero.
questions we don't know the answers.
Well, I thought it was Guerrero. There's one major league superstar whose father was a major leaguer for 20 years.
You're about to bump your elbow again.
I know.
Yeah.
That was bad news.
Don't bump your elbow.
No, it was very bad.
You poor man. You got to pitch tonight. You don't need to bump your elbow.
I know.
All-Star game is tonight. Here's a Brave stat for you.
Right.
Spencer Strider's already passed Greg Maddux and Tom Glavine in games pitched with 10-plus strikeouts in franchise history.
I believe it.
He has 12 of these games. He's 2 behind Denny LeMaster, who I went to school at Columbia Elementary with his son Dennis and played ball with him on Glenwood Hills.
I'll be darned.
Warren Spahn, Hall of Fame, has 18 such games. Phil Niekro, Hall of Fame, 20. John Smoltz, Hall of Fame, leads with 45 games of 10 or more strikeouts.
45? Holy
45.
cow.
That's how good John Smoltz was. How great John Smoltz was.
Number 29.
And the Braves so far this season have had 30 sellouts, 1.7 million fans, 5 million visitors to the Battery, and have sold 281,000 watt.
Sold? Well, I was going to say Google dolls. What do they call them? Gobblehead dolls. What are they? Bobblehead dolls.
Gobblehead dolls?
Gobblehead Google dolls by Claude Justeau.
Turkey dolls they sell at the baseball stand. Okay.
I don't know.
Hot dogs.
Oh, well, how many?
Hot dogs, 280,000 something of them.
And I remember, came here in '72, and there were 1,000 people in the stands, maybe, and they never got 1 million people in a year. Never for years.
We had our own beer vendor that would stand there and wait till you needed another one.
Right? You ready? Oh, it's true. They never come close to having 1 million people in for the year.
Well, these are different time.
Yeah,
different
absolutely.
time.
Thank goodness. I'm glad. I'm happy.
One day after the New York Times fired their entire sports staff, the LA Times, home to legendary sports writers like Jim Murray and Scott Osler, cutting out, get this, game stories, box scores, and standings.
Yeah.
I remember as a kid, you grabbed the sports page, you would immediately look at the box scores from the night before.
I have Jim Murray's book. It's just it's
great
falling apart. Just one of the greatest sports writers and commentators. Although he was pretty rough on Muhammad Ali, Cassius Clay, and I thought he was just great. One of the great writers of all time.
Well, here's the question: do kids today go on the internet and look at box scores like we used to look at them in the paper?
I'll bet they don't know how to keep score. Wouldn't know what a scorecard looked like in baseball.
Nobody knows how to keep score anymore.
Yeah.
What's that?
I guarantee you nobody looks for box score. Well, for one thing, that's all there was. There was no Sports Center top 10.
None of that stuff.
Yeah.
I told the story on my thing before. I found out that Phil Niekro pitched a no-hitter against the Padres 2 days after it happened because I was on my grandparents' farm in Mississippi, and the Memphis Commercial Appeal showed up 2 days later.
Really?
It was 2 days before we got down there.
Well, yeah. There you go.
When Patrick Mahomes and his wife Brittany recently put their Kansas City home on the market for $2.9 billion, a lot of fans started to get worried.
Where's he going? He moving? Yeah.
Yeah, they're moving to a much larger property there in Missouri.
Oh, boy.
Which includes, get this, a massive new mansion, half a football field with Patrick's personal logo on it and his name painted in the end zone, their own three-par golf hole, par 3, I'm sorry. Their own par 3 golf hole. One more time. A giant pool, and get this, a big pond.
Oh, a pond would be good for you.
Yeah, pool in a pond, pond's good for you. On this date,
Breyer on you too.
Yeah, that's right. July 11th, United Kingdom Olympic gold medalist Sir Mo Farah revealed that he had been trafficked into the UK as a child from Djibouti to work as a domestic servant. But according to CNN, this is just a right-wing conspiracy. Never happened.
Really?
Yeah. This date, 1958, the L.A. City Council declared today, "Take me out to the ball game day," to celebrate the iconic baseball song's 50th anniversary. Okay. Wow. So they drug out the lyricist Jack Norworth to L.A. to do this, right?
Okay.
They gave this man, who was 79 years old, a lifetime pass to all Major League games.
A lifetime pass at 79.
He got to see 2 games.
Oh, that really got to see 2 games. Well, God bless you.
On this date in 1976 at Atlanta Fulton County Stadium, and Ted Turner was trying to get people to come into the games. Yeah. At home plate, they buried 34 couples, and they had a wrestling championship match took place after the game. It was billed as headlocks and wedlocks.
I remember those days. I don't remember 30 people getting married there, but I remember, Jane Fonda would show up and Ted be in the stands. Jimmy Carter would show up once in a while. Cool.
Yeah. And they beat the Mets 9-8 that night, by the way, on that. And in a contest best remembered for the Ruthian blast by Bo Jackson, as we hear right now. Do we, Flounder, we hear this at the moment?
Second,
yes, we do.
Can we hear this coming up? Any moment?
Sound of it.
Jackson was baseball and football, and you did football.
Yes, I played the Gipper, but I also played for real in a much earlier time. But that Bo down there, that's a pretty interesting hobby he has for his vacation. When baseball ends, he winds up playing football. I don't know if there's ever been anyone doing it.
Oh boy, he's remarkable, and look at that one. Bo Jackson says hello. Woo!
That was a great call. Great call, Vince Scully and Ronald Reagan.
500 feet or something.
Oh, poor Rick Russell didn't even turn around. It's like that ball had a stewardess, as they like to say.
What an athlete! Remember him climbing the wall with his, he literally ran up the wall to get then back again and stuff.
What amazing!
Man. And again, No, I'm just going to say if you didn't see the video of the Facebook thing with the charity poster I got, the picture I got of his bloody nose from Bo Jackson hitting him right in the face with a line drive. A great moment here. Yes,
in 1996, the U.S. Postal Service issued the mighty KC stamp for Casey at the bat. They did this along with Paul Bunyan, John Henry, and Pecos Bill as 4 postage stamps commemorating American folk heroes. Do you think anybody, Davis, have you ever heard of Pecos Bill, John Henry, Paul Bunyan, or Casey Jones? Casey at the bat.
I have. These are all like folk tales, tall tales people. Love Paul Bunyan.
See, he's a writer. He's a journalist guy, so he would know that kind of stuff. But a lot of people have no idea what you're talking about.
I know. John Henry, a steel driving man.
A steel driving man, yeah.
And all the Pecos Bill and all that stuff.
Yeah.
2006 against the St. Joe, Missouri Black Snakes. Jim Ariadis led off and struck out for the Sioux Falls Canaries. He fouled off one of the 4 pitches he saw. Why is this a big deal?
Well, he's blind.
Pretty good. No, he was an 83-year-old former minor leaguer, the oldest man to ever play a professional baseball game.
I'll be damned. Was it just a stunt, or was he actually playing, I wonder?
No, he played shortstop. He had 3 assists. It was amazing. It was a Hall of Fame boxer Sugar Ray Robinson backed out of a fight because he had a dream, a premonition. He was going to kill his next opponent in the ring. A priest and minister were called in, convinced Robinson to fight. So Sugar Ray entered the ring in Cleveland and promptly killed 22-year-old Jimmy Doyle in the 8th round. Didn't mean to. The fight in Ohio, he was taken to the hospital, given last rites. Robinson heard about it and raced to be at his side. They thought about charging him with manslaughter, but never did. Found out later that California refused to let Doyle fight because he had been so injured before. Robinson then found out that Doyle was so anxious to fight, despite all the head trauma, because he needed the money to pay for his mother a house.
Oh, my God.
Sugar Ray Robinson used the prize money from his next 4 bouts to buy the lady a house.
And he had a premonition, didn't want to fight because he was going to kill the guy and then kill the guy.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
All right, one last thing here to lighten up the mood.
Yeah, thank you.
Why couldn't the jalapeno practice archery?
Well, because he was too burned out with his pullback string.
Because he didn't have an arrow.
An arrow to find with a quiver. He was quivering with a arrow. Well, sounds like the end of Holy Crap at Sports to me. I certainly should. Yeah, I got a bell over here, too. How about that? Anyway, all right, Pete Davis and Flounder in the cat. It's 5:30 already here with Herp and Herper. We'll be back. We got more. Hold on. right, Bruce Cheatstein. And I was cheating on my girlfriend. She would watch me when I was playing ball. And then I'd have sex with her sister. I put a Mickey in her drink. And then she started getting really sleepy. And that's when I took off her clothes and nailed her good. I'm a cheating bastard, nailed her good. She was unconscious. I loved that girl. She was sleeping all the time. Bruce Cheatstein opened for Humble Pie on this day in 1971 at Ashbury Park, New Jersey. Humble Pie included a guy named Peter Frampton, who was quite impressed with Bruce Cheatstein. And he told Cheatstein and the band he'd like for them to open for Peter Frampton on a national basis. Frampton also said he would be happy to get the band an audition with his record label, A&M Records. And for some unknown reason, Cheatstein's manager, Tinker West, said, go screw yourself. We don't want anything to do with you. Told him to take a hike. 11 years ago, 2012, Hillary Rodham P. Stinky Fart Cabbage became the first Secretary of State to visit Laos since the Vietnam War, where America dropped 260 million cluster bombs on their country. And in keeping with the war criminal things, we're letting President Crime Family also continue the cluster bombing around the world. By the way, she was there in the Vietnam era more than President Bill did. Remember, he got a deferment from a colonel friend of his, and then when it was time for him to actually go in the service, he wrote a letter saying, well, I've always loathed the military. He loathed the military, and of course didn't have to serve, and so there you are. Anyway, Pete, we got a call coming up here too, Pete.
Really?
Yeah.
From, I understand it's the Rhino. Did you know?
Yes.
The new Indiana Jones movie is out.
The new Indiana Jones movie is out.
But that the Rhino has been Harrison Ford's stunt double for all of his films.
You know,
including the bad ones.
I swear, and the one where he pulled out the gun instead of the whip from the side angle, I swear I thought that was the Rhino.
It was.
And I didn't believe my own eyes, honestly.
And it was also the Rhino, not Harrison Ford, who famously crashed that plane in Los Angeles on a golf course.
Oh, the golf course crash, yeah.
Because of all the talents the Rhino has, flying a plane is not one of them.
Not one of the good ones, no. Anyway, oh my God, he's on the horn as we speak. It's the Rhino. How's it going, my friend? What's happening, you bastard?
Listen, I'm not like Pete. I can't just fly planes, especially when they're that old, but I tried my best. Guys, I'm so glad to hear you. I thought this was a mini-series, and you guys were only doing like 6 episodes, so this is great. You guys just keep going.
Well, if we do well, they're going to start paying us.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Yeah. Instead of us paying them, I mean, it's the best way around. It's kind of unfortunate.
Yeah, that's absolutely the way to do it, is just grab something when you leave. That's the best way. But you know what? I mean, all the marks on the table, you're getting your revenge. So I have a new question.
All right.
Because, the marks are starting to disappear. They're not as bad since we've brought attention to that.
I'm trying to be better. Well, I'm working here. I'm trying to be better for you guys. Yes.
Well, here's my problem.
Yeah.
So I defend you. I want you to know that. I defend you because I use the same kind of markers, but unfortunately, I don't leave marks everywhere, but I do use the same kind of markers.
Yeah.
So I start defending you, and then this morning we walk in, and I need to know.
Yeah.
There are paper clips everywhere.
There are a million of them. There's a million paper clips in this.
I thought maybe he's picking his earwax with it.
That's an idea.
Shoes on him.
Yes.
What is with the paper clips?
Well, actually,
we do not understand it.
Actually, it was with the paper clips that I remember telling the story just a couple of days ago, Gwen, about how Pete Davis and Wayne, no offense, our producer back in the old day, heated up paper clips in the letters USMC and branded me with red hot, flaming, sizzling, skin burning paper clips for my brand of my Marine Corps thing. But it's actually Flounder. When Flounder puts together stuff for me for the show of birthdays in history and music, stuff like that, he paper clips them together. And when I come in, I get rid of the paper clips because I do a different system. But anyway, it helps him to keep them things separate, and I just get rid of them so they end up in a big pile here.
You just threw Flounder under the bus.
I know.
What the hell, man?
Yeah, you don't get rid of them, and I didn't need an explanation of what paper clips were for, Kimmer. We know it's not a new technology.
Well, I'm not sure about you young whippersnappers, you know. Oh, mercy. Anyway,
I love it, guys.
you
Keep
boys.
it going. I can't wait. And I like that you're now actually, doing a topic after you tease it.
No, we're not.
Great.
That's
This is
not.
a new way to do this.
That's not normal. It must have been a mistake.
Thank you.
All right.
You lost your bag of Coke, so now all of a sudden you got everything together.
There you go. All right, the Flounder and the Pete and the Rhino. The Rhino. All right, Semper Fi, my friend. I'll see you. Talk to you bastards in the morning. 5:40. Oh, is this another call or is this it is another call? This would be, I think, Christian's back with us again. Hello, Christian.
Oh, good.
Hello, Christian. You're on the radio. Yes, sir.
Yeah. I met another guest. You talked to my guest before.
Oh, we have another surprise guest on the radio.
Another guest.
Celebrity guest.
There are no celebrity guests. Yes, sir. Yeah.
Yeah. Hello, my name is Guilford Gottfried, and I'm here to tell you a joke.
Guilford Godfrey. All right, sir. Yeah.
It's my birthday. My parent is queuing up my favorite snacks, including my favorite corny flakes. And then
no idea
something happened.
What you're saying there. I'm thinking.
Did you bring back Flush the Line?
Yeah, we just lost him.
We have a.
Is that Flush the Line? So you didn't tell
sorry,
me?
so sorry, Christian.
Even Kimmer rang his own bell.
My wife says, "What's that $20 doing in your pocket?" No, we don't want to go into that one at the bar.
Just the punchline.
Well, he also, Oh, mercy. All right. Oh, I did tease once about talking about Martina Navratilova. And again, this girl, Megan Rapinoe's been all over TV on sport. Is she retired now or something? Or
No, she's playing one more.
Oh, God. Well, anyway, she's all over the place. And she's a true America hater. She has absolutely no love for her country or what her country stands for. She's a biased hater and a divider, Megan Rapinoe. And the other day, she was asked about the issue of transgender athletes, which, fake girls being real boys, in women's sports. And she said, quote, lawmakers are trying to legislate away people's full humanity. And she would accept the transgender woman replacing a biological female on the national team.
Traitor.
She said she would co-sign a letter about the mental and physical health benefits would exclude women and girls from getting mental and health benefits. Frustrating when women's sports is weaponized. Oh, now we care about fairness, she says. Now we care about women's sports. That's total bourgeois. And show me all the trans people who are nefariously taking advantage of being trans in sports. It's just not happening.
Oh, God.
My God, how many examples do you need? Well, anyway, because of all this, that they're taking away your humanity of the trannies. As these comments started circulating around the internet, Martina Navratilova, the 9-time Wimbledon champion, an activist for gay rights, but not for transgender faker rights, Martina Navratilova said simply the word, yikes. In the world athletics announcement, Martina says, I think the best idea would be to have a biological female and a biological girls category, and then an open category where an op-ed that she wrote, if that's what fits you, then clearly that just makes sense. It's not fair to have boys who pretend to be girls in girls' sports. Come on, everybody knows that. Look at we see the examples, for crying out loud.
Did you see the prison story out of the paper out of the Independent, I think, out of London, that has a story that both there and over here, that prisoners are pretending to be trans so they can be transferred into women's prison. Right. And they have their own newspaper, the prisoners do, and they're laughing about how they're getting away with it.
Yeah. Well, and why wouldn't you want to be a man in a woman's prison? I mean, come on.
And they're sexual. By the way, they're in prison for sexual attacks on women.
Yeah. Well, it's okay. A woman prisoner is going to, I mean, my God. What's wrong with us? We're not. This is nonsense.
That's just the media and the few crazies like Megan Rapinoe, who, by the way, I will not watch the women's soccer if she's still on that team. I'm not going to watch it.
Nope. These people are nuts. I'm telling you. Have you heard of bed rotting? Gen Z. A new trend in Gen Z is now bed rotting. The practice of spending long periods of time snuggled under the covers with snacks, your audio and video screens, other creature comforts. The unofficial definition, the Gen Z term for staying in bed for days on end, binging on Netflix, TikTok, and Hinge. Now they're talking about a sign of depression or whether it's good for your mental health. But again, just pulling the covers over your head for days at a time and Netflix.
We called it Sunday morning.
Yeah. It's 5:45 already. More comedy coming up and a Veep thing if you haven't heard it. And we got stuff here. Don't go away. Stand by. Like a dog. The old Beatles. I love the old Beatles. Like a log. With you and the things that you do. Yeah. I'll be feeling all right, baby. The Beatles, 1964, appeared on the ABC show Lucky Stars, performing A Hard Day's Night, Long Tall Sally, Things We Said Today, and You Can't Do That. To avoid the crowd of fans waiting for them, the Beatles arrived at the Teddington Studio Center by a boat traveling down the River Thames. 1964. Let's see. Quick birthdays include Suzanne Vega, 64 years old. Luca was her weird song. And Richie Zambora, former Bon Jovi songwriter, guitar player, who had the Heather Locklear action there. And he also was with Denise Richards. Richie Zambora, 64. Not too shabby there, buddy.
Suzanne Vega also did Tom's Diner.
Tom's Diner,
very
that's right.
Song.
Although I don't remember that one. I remember Luca, but I don't remember Tom's Diner.
Tom's Diner goes like...
Well, who sings that again?
Suzanne Vega.
Well, let's keep it that way. Oh, sorry. I did Pete.
Got me there, Kimmer.
Well, that'll fix him. He'll be working at 680 tomorrow.
By his choice.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Get me out of here, poor bastard. Anyway, a couple leftover things. The Babylon Bee came out with a strange, interesting headline. Ben and Jerry announce Native Americans may now exchange white man's scalp for a free pint of Chunky Monkey. So that's kind of a first thing there for the record. Also, I remember I covered this in 1982 in Chicago. Somebody was going into to drugstores or department store, grocery stores, whatever, and going to the pharmacy section and opening up the tops of Excedrin or Tylenol and putting cyanide in there and then putting the top back on, putting it back on the shelf, and no one ever knew the difference. This was before there were secure tops for bottles of medicine and almost everything else in the store. If you remember, it was never, you could just open up and do it. And people were dying. I mean, it was horrible. It was just, a wife would say, oh, my God, my husband went in and took a couple of Tylenol and dropped dead in the kitchen. It was unbelievable. Well, they never actually officially caught who they think is the killer, but they think they did, and he's dead now. Anyway, the suspect in that crime spree killed 7 people in Chicago, 1982. His name was James Lewis. He was 76 years old, dead in Cambridge, Massachusetts the other day. No one was ever charged in the murders, but he served 12 years in prison for sending an extortion note to Johnson & Johnson demanding $1 million to stop the killings. But they couldn't prove that he actually was responsible for it, but he took advantage of it either way.
I thought of him the other day when I bought my raspberry Danish.
Oh, really?
Food Giant. And I brought it home, and it was half open.
Uh-oh.
And I actually thought, is this going to be a Tylenol situation? I was so...
Yeah.
What would you do?
Well, it depends. I give it a good smell and see whether somebody could mess with it. But again, it depends how hungry you were. If you really wanted it, eat it. Take a chance.
I was so hungry, I popped that baby open and ate it.
Well, there you go. Yeah, but I think about that all the time. I always, if you open a thing of ice cream and doesn't have something on it, there's still things you can get that are not covered properly. Anyway, the guy who may have done it is dead. Also, this was freaky to me. By the way, 5:53 already. Can't believe it. The Webb telescope has now sent back images of the most distant black hole yet. 570 million years to the Big Bang, 100 million years closer to the beginning of the cosmos than they saw a couple years ago. Even closer to the Big Bang, 14 billion years ago is when the universe stood, at least.
Well, with this new telescope, they're starting to revamp the idea of the Big Bang.
Yeah. I mean, again, I don't know whether we'll ever know until this is overwhelming. 14 billion years?
That's a long time.
Yeah.
You'd think we'd be a lot better. You'd think we'd have our flying car by now. 14 billion years. Come on, what the hell? I want my jetpack. Son of a gun.
Speaking of flying cars, did you hear what the socialist Spanish minister for climate change just did?
John Kerry, what?
No, it's the Spanish. She's a socialist. And she's in charge of energy and climate change. Yeah. She went to some kind of meeting somewhere. I don't know where it was. She flew there in a private jet. Took a limo from the airport until about 100 yards away from the meeting place. She got out of the limo, got on a bicycle, and rode the bicycle up to the building with her security cars flanking her on both sides.
That's what Pete Fudgy did. Remember that when they caught him? They're taking the bike out of the back of the Secret Service truck when he was running from. Oh, it's unbelievable. And they caught him.
We're idiots. It's all a farce. It's all a play.
Oh my God, unbelievable. Unbelievable. By the way, you're right about Jamie Foxx. Again, there's more thing on that. He apparently showed up the other day, but he apparently can't speak. And maybe he was in the facility in Chicago that specializes in stroke recovery and traumatic brain injury. So we're assuming that may be because he was out in public, like you mentioned the other day. Jamie Foxx, the actor, is 55 years old, had some setback here in Atlanta, went to the hospital, and they haven't saying what it is, but clearly it was some kind of a stroke or it wouldn't be a heart attack. It wouldn't affect your speech. Well, I don't
They said it was right after the shot.
Yeah, well, that's the other thing. The initial thing was it was the COVID China kill virus shot that he had vaccine that he would take it. Yeah, several of them if he'd taken a whole bunch. Anyway, I don't know. The Marine Corps still has no commandant. They're still being held up by the senator from Alabama, former football coach Tommy Tuberville, because he doesn't want federal funds being used for the military to allow soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines, and Coast Guards to go get an abortion across state lines. And if they get one now, it'll be paid for by the military. And Tuberville says he doesn't want federal tax money paying for abortion services of any kind, so he's not going to allow any. A senator can hold up all appointments and confirmations, which is everybody. We still got one Flounders funnies left here, my friend.
Yes, we do. This is the Italian guy. What's his name? Sebastian Mescola?
Mescala, something like that. Mescasolo.
Maniscalco.
Exactly.
Mescalco. Yeah, that's it. I like this guy.
So the alarm went off last month, and my wife don't get up. I'm up right away, and I'm not one of these guys that goes and handles it, all right? I'm like, get up! Get up! She's like, what's going on? I said, the alarm's on. She's like, just go look. Yeah, what? I'm going to go look, take 2 to the head while you escape out the back with our 2 kids and start another family with some other guy. That. Get on my back. We're going out together. Go look.
The alarm's going off.
How you think you married? Rambo? Let's go together.
I remember back when I used to have that on my Sirius XM, used to include everything, including the comedy channels, and now they're charging extra for it, and I got ticked off and said, screw you. But he was on a lot, and he's a funny guy. There are a lot of funny guys out there. And I really like having our Flounders funnies because I think it makes us all happy. How about a little more Veep to Veep? Again, I love the TV series Veep. It was on HBO for years with the little Seinfeld girl who played a stupid vice president and shiftless and sexual and everything else. Here now is a montage of the TV show series Veep and the vice president shiftless of Carmel of the United States.
Words have many meanings, and sometimes instead of conveying our meaning, they can suggest other meanings.
When we talk about the children of the community, they are children of the community.
Well, we are the United States of America because we are united. And we are states.
The significance of the passage of time, right? The significance of the passage of time. So when you think about it, there is great significance to the passage of time.
Yeah. Whatever we have in store cannot be known. The past was once the future. The future is, I should say, unknown.
We got to take this stuff seriously as you are, because you have been forced to have to take it seriously.
Obesity is a serious disease, and it needs to be taken seriously.
Certain issues are just settled.
Clearly we're not.
No, that's right, and that's why I do believe that we are living, sadly, in real unsettled times.
Your next president of the United States, my friends.
You laugh.
Dear Lord. Anyway, don't forget, we'll be at Top Golf on Thursday doing the show live up there 3 to 6 because some small businesses will be up there to say hi. If you want to look at a small business, you're welcome to say hi and stop by us at the same time. In the meantime, I gotta go. You're killing me. Pete and Flounder and not Davis. Look out. Hurrah, herp, herp.